Welcome to Free Agent, our Cypher system RPG set within the Beacon Space universe. While the faction turn deals with the giant political organizations and the factions that move within, our game looks into the Penumbra, the shadows of society where light and darkness meet, the shadows and cracks of society, the place where clients with exacting needs can claim plausible deniability and get the things done that nobody else can. Individuals within the Penumbra are our titular free agents, and a team of such will perform a mission today. Why don't we go down our team and introduce ourselves? Whittle, you describe your character for us, please.
Whittle is an inquisitive speaker who crafts unique objects. She is a Queltel, so a kind of axolotl manta ray mix, and she's about 4 foot and dressed in dungarees, Wellingtons, and a bucket hat. So well prepared for space travel.
Grizzled combat veteran. Next up, we have Bloodwind. Bloodwind, what do you got to say for your character?
Bloodwind is an inquisitive explorer who fuses mind and machine. At first glance, they appear human, but as you get closer, you pick up on some of the more mechanical aspects to their form, as they're actually a member of the She, a group of naturally occurring artificial intelligences from the Starlit Court, who are placed into semi-biological bodies to go and experience new experiences for interesting philosophical reasons.
Next up, we have a relative newcomer, Cinch. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Cinch is a clever explorer who actually worked the system at a very young age. She's quite unassuming looking, first glance, kind of adorable, bright pink hair, sort of, innocent. And then when you get to know her, where you see her skills, realize that she's in it for herself, and she'll take any opportunity to get ahead.
Looking forward to seeing more of Cinch on this mission. Next up, we have the how to describe Tink.
I'd say Tink is a impulsive soldier that works the back alleys, but more than that, they're a character to be around. They're very honest and blunt with what they say, and they're not afraid of anyone.
And last, but definitely not least, we have the imposing figure of Sir Frederick Ziegler. Introduce yourself.
Frederick Ziegler, who's a strong-willed soldier who rages, is a mountain of a man, clad in power armor, and seemingly never gets taken off. Constantly in a mood about something or other. Inept with critical thinking, and generally looking for a fight at all times. He's a self-proclaimed member of the Starlit Court, but it's a bit unclear at this point about what's actually going on.
The epitome of what one might call hired muscle.
Yeah, that would probably suit him very well.
Now, as we get the title credits, we get free agents splashing across the screen, and we get the title card I, XR5 as the episode title. We see the camera swing across a crowded metal gantry, and a familiar sight fills the screen as the broken, fizzing neon sign of the Cacti Oasis Bar and Casino swings into view. As the camera pans through, we pan through a staunch argument between what looks to be some kind of silicate sentient crystal and a human who are arguing loudly about whether or not they should be allowed into the bar. As we move past at the front, we see a blue figure-8 table with small drones rushing around it and crowds of people gambling next to it, cheering and booing as the various twists and turns of the drones go around the corners. And we pan across the bar, which is a faux plastic wood with some disgruntled employees sat behind it wearing large sombreros with little cactus pins, all looking very fed up. And it's been a long day for them. And across the back of the casino, we see a selection of U-shaped booths with big cushioned seats, and in each of the booths there is a console that looks like an old-timey jukebox, but the familiar green and black of the Penumbra network is flickering on various screens as groups of curious individuals are sat at them. And as we pan across one booth, we see the 5 individuals of our team. As the camera pans in, what is the conversation that you're all having?
So I'm not sure if Ziegler's actually necessarily having a conversation with people at this point, but I'm sure he's having at least a mild argument with somebody nearby.
What's the argument about?
I think the person involved is a marketing salesman for automated cleaning machinery, and Ziegler's taken offense.
I see. Very cool.
Is proclaiming the downfall of humanity and society as a whole for the fact that we have to rely on such machines.
Ziegler is perpetuating his war against the automated labor of cleaning robots. What have you been doing since the last time we saw you, Ziegler?
We've been perpetuating the dimmerite of copper. With Biscuity whenever we've been in contact with that. I'm not sure how much we've shifted at this point, but what's going on with that?
You've been selling industrial copper in a pyramid scheme.
The dimmerite.
It's a dimmerite.
Yeah, not a pyramid. Very, very important distinction.
Not a pyramid. I don't know how successfully. I don't think he's had much contact with the. Hang on, how much time has passed since the previous? I'm not going to say mission situation occurred.
Since your mission.
Right?
Yeah.
How long did you say?
9 days.
9 days. Okay, so I don't think he's spoken to Biscuity for a few days. And sort of at the back of his mind, at this point, he's just totally focused on potentially murdering this person in front of him. But it's not gotten to that point yet.
Do you look any different to the last time we saw you?
I mean, I've got burn marks all over me on my body, but you can't really see because the power armor's been repaired now.
Just asking because as we look up to the screens of the bar, we see occasionally flickers of a fire at a big jellyfish-shaped arena, and pictures of a man, blurry pictures of a man in black power armor. With that, if you have any information about this man, contact the Concord authorities for a reward.
I think Ziegler's just painted a small red dot on his forehead, off-centered, and he thinks that's enough.
Gotcha. Speaking of disguises, Tink, what are you doing in this bar?
I think Tink's sitting across from Ziegler with their feet up, just chewing their gum, and their eyes are darting from the news alert to Ziegler, just giving the evilest side eye.
Ziegler's totally unaware of this.
And Bloodwind, what do we see of you?
So I think the thing that kind of anyone who's met Bloodwind before would notice is that they're normally in a very kind of plain tunic outfit, but they're currently wearing what looks like a kind of cross between a tight bodysuit and riding leathers. And they're sat there with their wrist comp open, and they're flicking through pictures and video of them riding a hover cycle somewhere.
Where on the station have you been riding your hover cycle?
I
Is
mean,
it
I
on the
don't.
station, or have you been on a world?
Well, my question would be to you is, where would I be able to ride my hover cycle?
I mean, there's some larger concourses, and there's probably like a vehicle bay you could have been driving around in.
So
The big empty berths for a cargo ship or something probably could have been squealing around.
no, I think if it's been 9 days, so I think, and we're in center system, right?
Yes, yeah, you're on the TTGI station in orbit of Tellus in 0909 center.
Would there be like I don't know, like a track day type thing at somewhere on Tellus that they could have gone to, or is that completely out of the question?
Tellus itself, yeah, probably. I think more likely is one of the large ships that came to dock with TTGI station was probably some kind of traveling circus is the wrong word, but entertainment center that travels around looking for customers, and there's probably racing in some section of that ship.
Yeah, so it's probably there was that docked, and having just purchased the hover cycle, they took the opportunity to go and try it out there.
Cool. Yeah. Whittle, are you in the bar? I imagine this isn't a very comfortable environment for you.
She probably is. Probably looking quite comical, because I did just look it up, and 4 foot is about the size of like an 8-year-old. So, so she's probably like a bit short for everything, but she's probably sitting down and going over her notes on the intricacies of farming, as she has noted down from her downtime talks with Ezekiel from Dairy and Agricultural Consortium, who she took up the offer of having a drink sometime. And so now she's just got a notebook full of information about farming.
Either the side of an 8-year-old or Danny DeVito. Cinch, where do we see you in this scene?
I probably have like the brightest color cocktail the bar has, and I'm playing on my little wrist computer digital interface card, and I'm in the local authorities trying to see exactly how much information they have on our mysterious gun-toting Cyberman, and debating about whether or not he'd pay me to delete everything.
In front of you is a glass chalice with a gold rim, and in the drink is a bright pink liquid with the consistency of ice cream and a fluff of cotton candy / candy floss out of the top of it.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. And so why don't you give us the first roll of the session and give me an intellect roll? Difficulty 4.
Yes, how do I do that?
So, if you click, you have your character sheet?
Character sheet. Yes.
If you click on the word intellect, it should give you a prompt.
Okay. You said difficulty what?
Difficulty 4.
Do I do an effort or no?
That's up to you. An effort is where you spend, for you it would be 3 points from your intellect pool to make this one easier.
I'll try that. Yay! What do we get?
Cool success. Now, first, spend the points from your pool to drop your current down to 13 in this case. And as you're looking for information about the incident on Gila, you get a report that an unknown group of individuals posing as an ombudsman company called Night and Day caused havoc in the Karkaduk Grand Prix, where one of the employees pulled a shotgun on a team principal and led to the cancelling of the race, which they're still trying to reschedule and deal with the fallout from. You get you know all of this information. You manage to pick it up from various sources and from news and from the Penumbra network. You have a pretty good idea of what happened on Karkaduk.
I'd take the drink and just, stir, sip lightly. Hey guys, do you want all this kind of gone or changed? Maybe instead of night and day, it's, Aztec group. Take some of the heat off the supposed secret mercenary group. What do you think?
I think Ziggler sort of just waves his hand and carries on arguing with this guy.
I think
Listen, I don't know what your problem is. They clean. They follow you. They clean the floor. They are not coming to attack you. I don't know what you're talking about.
The sanctity of robots should not be wasted on such menial tasks.
What would you have them do instead? Shoot you? Because that is what you're sounding like.
Yeah, it'd be a better job.
No, he doesn't shoot robots. He shoots race people.
Excuse me, this...
Sit there twirling my straw and my fluffy pink drink.
Yeah, Bond's going to look up from their screen, and the only one they have a picture of is him. And I'm not associated with that company in any way, so it's not my problem.
Except you're sitting right here.
Yeah, but if you think anybody in this bar is going to take that over the money that they can make from being part of the network, I think you're looking the wrong way.
Ink is messing with a toothpick. They just say, "What if we removed the blur?"
They're easier to find him, you mean? That could be fun.
Yeah.
That could be fun. That could be fun. I like pink. I get up from wherever I'm sitting and just kind of slide into the bar next to them. Like you.
Yeah, I've been putting pieces of gum on his armor bit by bit. I'm trying to turn his armor pink. I'm making good progress.
It's been 9 days. How much gum have you got onto his armor?
I try and spend as little time with it as possible.
In that spot just between his shoulder blades that you can't reach. And doesn't let anyone touch.
Ziggler's quite precious about his arm, but I don't think he can see his own back, so he's not even noticed.
So, as you're all sitting there and getting up to the various activities that free agents in downtime do, you hear the beeping as the message you've been waiting for comes in, and it prints across the Penumbra network screen set into the old-timey jukebox. And as you expect, the sender is Agent Handler Wolf, the agent handler for 0909 Center. And the subject is product recall, brackets urgent. And you're all pinged with an urgent mission request, and this all happened. You got this message maybe 4 hours ago, and we're told to meet here urgently, and you've been waiting for more details. And the message body comes through, which I will show to you on Roll20. Show to players. There we go. The body reads, the Arclight Association, an industrial trade group within the Assembled Commonwealth, have issued a product recall on an older model of infantry drone. The unit marked XR-5 stopped responding to commands 3 weeks ago while in final testing. They have broadcast a bounty for the swift recovery of their property. The listed reward is 5,000 Howl for recovering XR-5 intact, 3,000 Howl for recovering XR-5 destroyed or damaged, and 3,000 Howl for determining the cause of XR-5's fault. And you also get a handout which gives you some information about 0809 Casho, which is a system 1 hex away from center, and specifically the planet Dacia, whichever way you pronounce it, which is the last known location of XR5.
There's a city on Dacia called Sandero.
There is not. The information that you get about Dacia is that it is an uncolonized, frozen world with a thick atmosphere, which you need breathing equipment to be able to go out. You can go out onto the surface with warm weather gear, but you need a breather because of the thick atmosphere. And yeah. So it's warning you to have environmental equipment before setting off.
So sorry, this message is pinged in just after this immediate preamble.
Sorry?
Yeah, we just got the details. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you just got sent the details. It pings you all, hey, look at the screen, and then it's scrolled across it. Yeah.
I think Ziegler's gonna push this guy who's been having an argument out of the way and immediately just starts stomping towards. I assume there's like a shipyard area on the station.
Yep. Yeah. Let me pull up my TCGI station document real quick. I should have had this ready. My bad. 1 second.
For once, I'm not going to Hub 7.
For once, you're not going to the industrial zone. Yeah, we know that you've had you've had some experiences there. Let's see. Shipyard and docking services. Let me have a look. Yeah, so each of the hubs has various docking points, and the largest docking points are connected to Hub 1, which is the luxury residential area, and there are large connections also to the inaccessible Hubs 11 and 12, which is where there was a previous accident with a giant ship docked to the station that made the habitats unlivable, but provides space for larger ships to connect.
Okay, well, I think Ziegler's just going to start stomping off in that general direction.
There's smaller ship attach points on every hub, but those are the largest points.
Yeah, he's going to just start stomping towards Hub 1, did you say?
Hub 1, the luxury residential, right? Is you going off by yourself?
I mean, he's en route. It's not like I've charged off at full speed or anything, but
Gotcha. You started walking in that direction.
yeah, I haven't discussed anything with anybody. I've just decided to start walking as soon as this message pinged up.
Oh, he's
So
excited to get cold. How do we get weather suits?
Sorry.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need weather suits. Yeah.
Like, I'm more worried about finding that first. I don't like the cold. You guys like the cold? I don't like the cold.
I think his armor counts, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're talking about Ziegler here. Yeah, he's in full power armor with a.
Yeah. Your power armor counts as an environment suit, so you don't care.
Yeah, so it's full environment suit. I can survive in the vacuum of space if I decide to.
Wait, do we need a full environment suit or just a breather?
Need warm weather gear, or you will
Okay.
freeze to death, and you need a breather.
So yeah, an environment suit would be the easiest way to get that all in one package.
Yeah, you don't need an environment suit, but you need like a thick coat if you're not in one.
Yeah, I happen to already have one. I was actually in the process of looking through gear because I wanted to buy some medium armor, and now I'm wondering how much it would cost as a custom item to have a set of medium armor that looks like biker's leathers combined with an environment suit.
And the other option is to not go outside, right? But
This is true, but I'm considering backdating this purchase to before, as in the outfit I'm currently wearing.
let's see.
This is a thing that I'm fairly sure Lottie would have gone and got anyway. I just want to know if it's within my price range.
Well, heavy armor and an environment suit is 2,000.
Not heavy armor, medium armor.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for. Medium armor is 500, and an environment suit. Let's just do it that way, right?
I think it's 1,000 for environment suit.
Environment suit is 1,000, yeah. So I'd say 1,500 to combine the both.
Cool. I will happily spend that on a set of medium armor that happens to also be an environment suit.
Cool.
Whittle, being that she is definitely dressed for the occasion, standing in her dungarees, will also be investing in an environment suit, probably one that can actually fit her her quelful frame.
Yeah, you can find a custom environment suit, no problem, for 1,000 howl. The digital currency of the Penumbra that converts to local currency using the Penumbra network automated transaction systems. Which you could have put your howl in the money box. But don't worry, Ziegler did the same thing, and it's because he carries around a huge bag of cred sticks, all with one howl on them, instead of having a digital wallet.
Yeah, they're individual cred sticks, and he just throws them at people.
Yeah, big handfuls.
Because Ziegler is a meme.
Yes. He's a walking ball of anger.
I'm struggling to actually find the rules for armor now that I'm looking for them.
Right, so your medium armor will be 2 armor, and it'll have an armor speed cost of 2 as well, I think. Yeah, you'll have an armor speed cost of 2. So whenever you apply effort to a speed roll, it'll cost you 2 extra points.
Cool.
Yeah. Before we move, does anyone else have money or experience that they'd like to spend? No, a little bit of downtime.
I think Tink just goes, I'll just stay inside. I'm not gonna bother with this.
Cool.
I've got a spare if you want it.
I'll find something to do inside. You guys can do the dangerous stuff.
You think I'm going to fight his job, and I'm pointing at the retreating back of the mountain of a man that is Ziegler.
Well, I'll take the spare since this is my first mission, and I spent all my howl getting here.
I do take a few moments to quickly check the current value of Erol coin.
Did have a note for this. Hang on. Let's see. No, legitimately, I planned this out because I knew you were going to ask.
This is going to escalate. You're going to have an algorithm that you run every time you.
Oh. Erol coin is currently worth 63.1121 howl.
Per coin.
Yeah, per full coin.
That's gone up. Last time it was 50-ish, wasn't it?
It was 51 last time.
63.112 was that?
63.1121.
Cool. And that means I have
0.6 of a howl.
Yeah, something like that. 0.06 of a howl.
Oh.
Ooh, you're getting out there. Getting out there. It's going to the moon. And further, because the moon isn't that impressive enough, I think.
I'm calling it now. The robot has malfunctioned because someone's installed a crypto mine on it.
Do you have...
As the mineral crypto miner on it, I will be laughing.
Yeah, do you have you re-downloaded the Mineral app?
Again, yes, but it's in a virtual machine that I can turn on and off, so it doesn't actually ruin my actual device.
Gotcha. Yeah. For any of the listeners who are unaware, Mineral is a social media conscious mining corporation that works within the Center system that have their own cryptocurrency and a rewards app that can give you discounts on your pumpkin spice latte in exchange for 99% of your device's processing power.
Discounts, huh? I think I'll just keep swindling delightful patrons for free drinks.
Cool. So unless we have anything else to do before setting out on the mission, you can all take 1 XP for accepting a mission for your agent handler.
Woo!
See what
We did it.
title I get to this session.
In addition, does anyone currently not have a Cypher?
Did you say you're giving my sniper module back after the last one, or is that still used?
You can have it back, yeah. That's fine. You can clip it onto your weapon, never use it. You can say that you recovered it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a Cypher.
Of course, Cinch doesn't have a Cypher. Well, Cinch, there is a special ability or object or quirk of fate that you have discovered whilst on your journey to Center 0909 Tell Us. So would you please go to the chat and type /r space 1d3 for me, please? Three. That is a fantastic cipher. Would you do the same and give me a 1d100 roll for me, please? 57. So the special ability that you have discovered is poison brackets explosive.
What? Those two words do not belong together. What?
Yeah, I know.
Explosion.
I know. So this is a substance that you've picked up somehow that you can put into your cipher box as poison brackets explosive level 1d6 plus 1.
Oh, wait, I know what it is. It's a laxative.
The thing that was coming to my mind was like a Nurgle pox grenade or something. Not a...
Well, the effect is, once this substance enters the bloodstream, it travels to the brain and reorganizes into an explosive that detonates when activated, inflicting 10 points of damage, ignoring armor.
Wow.
Somebody...
Blow people up from the inside? How many
Yeah.
people do I get to blow up like that?
You get to use this once. It's a one-time usability. And
But you have definitely discovered a war crime, just saying.
Could you roll another D100 for me, please? 38. Okay, so the variant that you have activates after a specific amount of time passes. So whatever biological agent that you've picked up, it's set to activate a set number of time after it enters the victim's bloodstream, and I don't think you know what that set time is.
What's the damage range? Like if I'm like in the same room, am I getting blown up too?
What are you doing with a random syringe that happens to have this stuff in it?
You've happened upon this somewhere. Don't ask me how.
I have connections from my childhood that, enjoy screwing with everything.
That's a fucked up.
Yep, it is.
That's a pretty cool variant of this cipher that you've managed to roll onto.
Lucky face. So seriously though, like, what's the explosive range? Am I gonna get hit if like I'm in the room with this?
It's immediate range, so it's functionally like a grenade, yeah.
Oh.
It just happens to be the person's head.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's a biological weapon, does it keep spreading? Like if goo gets on someone else, do they get sick too?
No, it's like you're injecting someone with liquid C4, and then after a set amount of time, it solidifies into actual C4 and detonates.
It's like poke and run. Poke and run. Like poke and
Yeah,
run in
basically,
one row.
or you just slip into food or drink, or
He's just turned someone into a bomb.
yeah, put into an air conditioning system. There's so many creative uses.
Oh my god. It's so unsafe.
So like the selfishest character at the table. This is awesome.
Oh dear, what have we created?
I'm entirely terrified. I can't be. The character doesn't know this exists, but I am terrified.
You all need to thank Tris for this one.
This is genuinely the most horrific thing I've encountered with this universe.
Yeah, well, thank the Cypher system.
You just have a syringe of death that goes off at some point, and it's horrific.
It's a syringe of random death.
You can put it in the celebratory meal when we get back.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so since she's terrifying,
Yep.
But I'm cute.
that's what makes it so scary.
I could have predicted the terrifying from the pink hairstyle. It's fine.
Well, just in comparison, though, for example, I've got one that just makes my gun shoot slightly longer. You've got a literal war crime.
Pink just slowly puts the lid back on their coffee.
Time to sit with hand over drink from now on, yes.
This is the beauty of rolling randomly for ciphers.
God.
Sit there.
I'm horrified.
Sit there sipping the whipped cream off my drink.
Right, so moving on from that terrifying existential crisis in a syringe. How are you going to travel to the system? It's one hex over, so it's not all that difficult. But as a group, decide what method of transport you're going to go for. Because unfortunately, you don't have Leofrich to be a personal shuttle. Although maybe you could find him and pay him, and he would help you out. But
Do we happen to know what Leofrich's fee would be?
to go one hex with a chartered vessel, I mean, I think Leofrich would be 500 because of the combat capabilities of his vessel. But general passage on a non-combat ship, just like a shuttle or whatever, commission it for a day. Say, we'll get it back. like renting would be $250. It'd be an inexpensive jaunt.
And just like jumping a random bus that happens to be going that way is.
Well, it doesn't have to be random. You could take a look at what ships are available on the station.
Okay, yeah, I look up the transit information on the intranet.
Sure. I mean, you've also got, as well as the station intranet, you have the Penumbra network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of looking for generic transport ship that is, considering they're one hex over, I assume that there's a fairly common back and forth.
Yeah, being one hex over, and also you would know. Actually, give me just an intellect roll, no difficulty. Let me see how much you know about K-Show.
60?
K-Show. Yes, but so you know that K-Show is home to pilgrimage sites. It's one hex away from center, and although it's an empty kind of barren system with not much of importance, you'd know it's quite a popular tourist destination because it's known as the point that a lot of thousands of years ago, generation ships, when the first humans started arriving into the sector, K-Show, one hex away from center, is where, if their navigation was off, all the hexes around center had ships appear, and K-Show is no different. K-Show is full of ritualistic sites and stations and beacons and nomadic groups that where the generation ships first appeared in the sector. Both secular and religious people hold these sites in significance and go visit them from time to time.
Cool. So there's probably a pilgrim ship that's leaving on the hour type deal.
Yeah. So there's infinite amount of bus tours that are offering like, we'll take you around all of the known arrival points, yada yada.
Mm-hmm. And how much are those?
Again, they're $250.
Okay, so just generally looking around, $250 is the lowest price that I'm going to find.
Yeah. Unless you like negotiate with someone specifically or have a contact, $250 is the set rate for a one hex day jaunt.
Is that for all five of us or for each of us?
For all of you.
Okay.
So you're paying for the vehicle, and then however many people you can fit on it, right?
Cool.
So this is all happening in Hab 1, is it?
Currently, you are in Hab. I mean, this is kind of freeform. You can be wherever you like on the sector,
I assumed you
right
said
now
Hab...
you're in Hab 6.
Yeah, we haven't left. Like, you've just got to leave the bar, basically.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, because I imagine Ziegler will... Is there a lot of marketing for different services people offering for transport and stuff, or is it all done on the intranet as such?
No, I mean, if you're looking for it, you can definitely find it.
I'm just imagining big neon signs with like the worst transport provider, and Ziegler immediately runs at it.
Sure. There is. Oh. Sorry, go on.
Like negotiate transport.
I'm just picturing lines of people with the like A-frame advertising boards, like listing various tours on them. So,
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see an older gentleman in a stereotypical tricorn hat with a big feather poking out of it. And he's got a big white beard, and he has a pipe clasped in the edge of his teeth. And his uniform is... it actually reminds you of the uniforms that they wore on the Truckers Union, on the Amicable Accord Truckers Union. Clean blue overalls with gold-pipped buttons, embroidery on his shoulders. And only 2 hours till the next tour. Get in on this historic tour of K-Show. See the points where the nomads first appeared. Witness God's will.
Alright, so I think upon hearing the concept of the fact that they're told Ziegler's going to run up and immediately. So, how much to get to Dacia?
Go to the planet? Well, you'll have to wait until after we've gone round all the pilgrimage sites, but I can certainly drop you off there. He sticks out his hand. I'm Captain Trilby.
I swipe his hand away and lean in. How much to Dacia?
He looks you up and down. I'll take it for 9,000 howl. 900, he says, sorry, not 9,000.
9,000.
Yeah, he says, to you, my friend, I'll take you to Dacia for 900 howl. And he doesn't say 900 howl, he says his local currency, but...
Yeah, okay.
We can convert.
Yeah.
Ziegler just sort of growls and walks off.
He scratches his head, confused. As Ziegler walks away, he kind of grumbles to himself. Fucking locals don't know how to haggle. And goes back to his yelling. 2 hours, got 15 spaces left on the next tour of K-Show. Yeah.
Are there any other people around shouting like that, or is that the main?
I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of people who are all basically carbon copies of this guy.
Oh, okay.
Men, women, different species, all offering these religious tours.
Okay, I can imagine Ziegler. Yeah. Yeah, there's been that altercation. I'm not sure what's.
You'll also see offers for tours to. Let me check the map real quick. Yep, you see offers of tours to Ledro. You see people offering tours for the lime vineyards of Asta. You see a sleek white team with like the double curled snake of the Kaji. How do you say that? Caduceus?
Caduceus, I think.
Caduceus, yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. The Caduceus. And it's got the bright red lettering of the New Gene Bank. And it's saying, "Be the perfect you. Shuttles to Heliocytus." And yeah, it's just all of these tourist advertisements.
Okay, well, I can imagine Ziegler going through a few of these people at least. I'm not sure what the rest of the party are doing. Probably something more useful.
I think we're all kind of leaving on the same mission, so we probably followed you to the transport region, watched you fail at haggling.
Well, Ziegler immediately rushes off to the next representative. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the conversation that we cut into with Ziegler is, "No, I can't take you to Dacia. We go to Heliocytus, where the New Eden Dean Bank will turn you into the perfect you."
What do you mean you can't take me to Dacia? What's the use in you?
Completely the opposite direction to which we will be going.
I don't see a reason for going to this Helios. Take me to Dacia.
Heliocytus is the home of Children of the Vein, premier biomantics.
I think Bloodwind kind of like walks up to the first guy, glances after Sir Frederick Ziegler. That was 900?
Hey, you sir, you look like a distinguished individual. Why don't you say you come on a tour? I can show you where the Starlit Court first entered the system. See, he was born in K-Show, you know.
You know, that guy over there is going to do it for 300.
That guy! You don't want that guy. He serves swill. He never has drinks. My tour's the best. We'll get you hooked up with free sandwiches. You can drink all you like. Although there is a service charge, I will admit. But pay that no mind. I have the best tours in the system.
So I'd like to bring up the advert that I've got on my wrist computer that says 250, but I'd like to edit the page so it says 150.
Is his ship behind him?
I mean, if this was the seaside, there would be like a short set of steps down to his already loaded like dinghy full of tourists. But given this is space, I think you look down past where all these A-frame boards are. It's like a long corridor with doors on either side with airlocks, where you can't see the ships, but you can see like the airlock numbers.
Right, right.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to walk down, no one's gonna stop you. You could take a look through the windows and look at the different ships.
Yeah, so I'd like to pull up that ad, but with the edited value of 150.
And I don't think editing it is the challenge at all. I think convincing him that that's what the advert actually says is. So yeah, you can edit it, no problems. Just changing a few lines of code on the poster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I want to basically want to do is I want to use that as an asset for my role.
Yeah, absolutely.
This company's saying they'll do it for 150.
Could Whittle assist by essentially going up and saying, if you convert this into this, then actually what happens is you can see that if you compare these rates and essentially use the different local currencies to try and bamboozle the numbers to match what he's saying.
Which local currencies do you try to bamboozle with? I mean, you don't have to give me the name of the currencies, but which cultures do you try and fool this man with?
Probably Concord at the very least. I'm not sure how many others she knows.
Bounce through half the currencies in the system, and then it comes out exactly.
You try to convince him, it's like, look, as a Quetzal, I know that if you look at how many fish you can buy. Look at how much seaweed this is worth. Yeah, all right. So with Whittle's help and the help from your spoofed advert, this is difficulty 1.
Cool. Difficulty. I'm assuming intellect.
Yes, please. Unless you're speaking incredibly quickly or forcefully.
I'm screaming at him. Yeah.
Intimidation is more Ziegler's.
I'll let you inquire about some intimidation in a minute. But...
Submit. Success.
Yeah.
I only rolled a 3. I'm glad it was difficulty 1.
He'll lean in and go, all right, but I'm doing this at personal cost at this point, so I'll take you 150 and we'll call it even. No free sandwiches, no free drinks. You pay for what you pay for on there. All right.
I pat him on the back and say, of course, I wouldn't, and I'll send my friends your way. Let them know that you're a good man.
I appreciate that very much, sir. Remember, tell him Captain Trilby, Keisho Tours, and he'll hold out a tablet with a slot for you to plug in your card stick.
So I assume between all of us we can afford 150 HAL.
Yes.
I'll have to owe you.
I've only got 100, so because I just spent a grand and a half on a new bodysuit, so someone's going to have to put the 50 in.
I have 300, so we're good.
Cool.
I've got 4,000 for some reason.
Okay,
You never spend it.
Yeah, it's 4,000 individual sticks.
Oh my god! You stand there giving him one cred stick at a time for like 5 minutes.
I can cover it. Just the concept of Ziegler giving one stick at a time. Yeah, I'll give him 150. I'll pay for it.
He pulls a handful and drops them. It's like, there's probably 150 there.
And I use sleight of hand to try and trick this guy into giving him the same stick more than once.
I think, given Ziegler's issues with critical thinking, roll a D50 plus 150 for me, Joe.
Oh,
He's overspending.
Oh no.
Only by 2?
Yeah.
so I like
Good
the concept.
job.
I'm mid-argument with this other person with the religious sect, and I hear about you making a deal, so I just throw a certain number of cred sticks in your direction. It happens to be 152.
Yeah,
Just
you
absolutely
move.
Shoves hands in pockets, throws coins down alleyway.
152 hull.
I removed 150 earlier, so I'll just remove 2.
Yeah,
Duties are important, guys. Duties are important.
So, yeah, I've effectively overheard what's going on over there and just throwing cred sticks in your direction.
Cool. Yeah, so you're all allowed passage onto the tourist ship.
Cool.
I'd like to roll intimidation against this person I have an argument with, by the way. I know this isn't going to lead anywhere, but...
The New Eden Gene Bank person?
Yeah.
What is the aim of your intimidation?
Well, to get them to change their tour to go to Dacia.
Right. Difficulty 6 for me, please.
Is there anything I can use to assist this?
You tell me. It's not.
Well, no, there's nothing really. I mean, there's stuff to inhibit myself, really, if I were to...
Make it even worse.
Could offer them some pig iron.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Actually, I'm rolling intimidation. I'm gonna. Sorry, changing my. Sorry, I need to change what I'm doing. I'm trying to intimidate them to start selling on my product on their tours.
We're intimidating them to join your pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Is it still difficulty 6?
What's your tack of convincing them? Is it like this industrial copper has medicinal uses? Is it will?
Yeah. So
it will.
So this Helios, what's it famous for with its religious significance?
Religious significance.
Yes. Well, that's your tour, isn't it?
We visit the New Eden Gene Bank. You have heard of the New Eden Gene Bank?
Can't say I have.
The New Eden Gene Bank is a medical facility for elective and necessary surgeries, usually gene therapies.
Well, you say medical...
You look like you've had some gene therapies yourself. It looks up and down your huge frame.
You say medical. Well, I've got a chemical sponge you might use in some treatments. Would you say you include it in your scheme and you take 60% of the profits? I'll take the 40.
We already have vendors for all kinds of supplements, medicinal devices, lapiotomy pads, anything that you can imagine.
What about pure, unrefined industrial copper?
I am not familiar with the studies as regards the medicinal uses of raw industrial copper.
Well, I'll tell you what. Take a sample, and we'll see how it goes from there.
The individual who is 5'4" with porcelain skin, bright white hair, and golden eyes. It's kind of hard to tell the physique of this person underneath their long white medicinal robes. Holds out their hand with a raised eyebrow, like
I sort of take a huge chunk of copper and just rub it on their arm.
Where do you take this huge chunk of copper from?
Well, I mean, I've got this massive power armor on. I imagine I've got some like bags and stuff attached, and I've always got a chunk of it on me.
You reach into an internal pocket.
No. Like on my belt, I've got a utility belt with loads of like leather pouches. Is how I imagine it.
Oh, the Batman.
Yeah. There's a utility pouch specifically for upselling and in the dimmerite.
Gotcha. So you have like magazine pocket. You have a sheath for your knife.
I've got the shotgun pocket, the harpoon. I do have a bag of heavy tools as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have a pocket that just has some industrial copper in it.
Yeah. Well, I've got to sell it somehow.
Well, the rep will grab your chunk of copper with a very quizzical look.
Yeah. So if you just rub that on your skin, it will impart some healing properties and some shininess.
Thank you. I appreciate your gift, they lie.
So we got this deal then, and I want to roll intimidation, like I'm making it clear that there's going to be an issue if they don't say yes.
Yeah, difficulty 6.
Alright.
We appreciate your patronage, and please do return to the New Eden Gene Bank when you inevitably are hurt in some kind of accident.
So if it's going to be me in an accident or you, matey, as I'll storm off.
As you storm off, two people who look absolutely identical to this person stick their heads out and raise an eyebrow quizzically. Like, huh? We watch. So is everyone else making your way down the gangway?
Yeah.
I want to try and bump into this guy and spill my coffee on him to pickpocket back the credits.
Captain Trilby?
All 152 sticks.
Yeah. Oh wait, you did individual stick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
152 individual cred sticks. Yeah.
Yeah, so I overheard you talking about money, and I heard 150.
Oh my god!
So I threw 100, I threw a handful of sticks at you. It turned out to be 152.
So Ziegler doesn't quite understand that you can have more than one cred on a cred stick.
Yeah.
Right, well, pickpocket some back. Jeez.
Sure. So give me a. Let's have a look.
I'm
this would
trained in pickpocket and sleight of hand.
This would be difficulty 3. So with your pickpocketing, difficulty 2, and then we'll roll to see how many you recover.
I'm going to use an effort.
All right, just beat a 3. Cool, 18. Very good
Easy.
success. Let's see. Let's say roll 1d80, and that can be how many you manage to recover.
Nice.
25. You can dip your hand into a pocket and pull out a handful of cred sticks from his big, flowing naval coat. That you can't feel your hand. You bump into them.
I've got a really
Sweet.
funny mental image of this entire camp. He sees
Look.
me shouting at somebody, just throws sticks at somebody. He immediately takes them and then just gets them stolen again.
Every little bit helps, you know. 825.
So you make your way down the airlocks, and along the way you see various gaudy logos until you find one called K-Show Tours, which has a picture of Captain Trilby next to it, so you know that you're at the right spot. And you make your way onto the small shuttle, and as you go in, it's already got some passengers on it, but not too many. So 7 or 8 people milling about. Some are sat in acceleration chairs. Some peering out the windows. There's a mother and a child, and the child is going, "But I wanted to go to Ledro." Well, your sister wanted to go to K-Show, and yeah.
Oh God. I think Bloodwind is going to attempt to sit as close to wherever the person doing the tour is going to be, like, because I assume the entire time there's going to be what amounts to a poorly put together lecture on every site we see and its historical significance.
Absolutely, yeah. Captain Trilby walks on, squeezes past everyone, goes to the front, goes to like this area of the ship, the big bay window, and pulls out with an electronic squeal a small microphone, taps it. All right, can everybody hear me? Welcome to K-Show Tours. And then get the electronic squeal again. Holds it away. Goes, sorry about that, everybody. All right, well, we've got a full complement, so we'll be getting underway shortly. Please take your acceleration seats, although it will be some time before we manage to take the FTL Gate 2 K-Show, as you know.
I think Whittle's going to look for maybe at least 2 people who seem like they're together, but not the mother and child, and just kind of like sit in the middle of them and start talking to them.
You see the mother and son, and you also see presumably the composite pair of their family unit. You see mother and daughter of the same species. You see you managed to find a couple that are on a date, and I think you can find yourself sat between them.
Oh yeah, right between.
They both give you kind of you snipe the chair from underneath them. They both give you kind of evil eyes. They look at each other kind of awkwardly, and the taller, lanky gentleman, shrugs, and she goes and rolls her eyes.
She's going to start talking to them. So, where are you from? Well, it's all very interesting, isn't it? Going out to all these places. Oh, it's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Meanwhile, up as close to the front as possible, Bloodwind is sat down and brought up on his computer a word processing software, and begin ready to take notes on everything as they go through.
Cool. So the ship departs from Telas, from the TTGI station. You see the big circle of Telas as you pull away. Looking back at the station, you can see the clock wheel with 11 and 12 damaged. You can see the fragments of the giant ship that caused the damage. Down on the surface of the planet, you can see the big puffing clouds of smoke from the terraforming engines in equidistant places on Telas. You can see the buzz of ships going in and out from the station, and you can see a glimmering asteroid belt off in the very distance. You can just about make out the winks of mining ships buzzing around it. And you make your way towards from a top-down perspective, the northwest of the sector, where you find yourself, as usual, trapped in a giant queue of other ships that are all waiting to take the FTL gate to Keisho. There's the loud noises and flashing lights of advertising ships, and while you're waiting the queue, you get Captain Trilby, who's sat at the front, going, of course, ignore them. We've already got food and drinks on board. You don't have to get any of what they're offering. And of course, if any of you have illicit substances, tell me now so I can partake. No, only joking. We need to flush it before we get to the security checks. Please don't bring any substances that are banned by the center authorities onto this vessel. I should have said that before you came on, really, but I assumed that you were all distinguished individuals and I knew we had this trip. If you take a look at your entertainment centers, you will have some of the greatest shows of the last few weeks, including the lost footage from the Karkadook Grand Prix. We have the first minutes of the race before it was red flagged. And
Oh no.
At which point, Bloodwind will bring that up and starts to try and, having had the thought put in their head earlier, start seeing if they can blur the footage.
Yeah, I mean it's not a digital blur; it's a physical.
Yeah, I think Bloodwind is going to do their. Considering that they know what Frederick Ziegler looks like, they're going to do their best to digitally enhance the image to look as accurate as possible. But not on their own device, obviously not on this guy's system.
What you managed to get is just some panicked crowd shots. And you see shots specifically at one point it goes picture in picture of all the races. And it shows grunge, it shows a small, colourful woman, it shows a cyborg racer, and it shows a tall gentleman being flanked by basically his older spitting image. They both look very upset as they all are rushed to team cars and you get the BBTV captions about suspected terrorist attack within the arena. It talks about how the Golden Stag Revolutionary Front has been sighted.
I think Ziegler vaguely points it in and says, this looks familiar. What's going on here?
On other screens around the turret ship, you see various soap operas. You see a live BBTV broadcast featuring Lupus Calbrecht and Xavier doing their nightly evening broadcast, although it's a rebroadcast from the day before, 'cause it's about mid-morning. Yeah.
I think Tink just points over to the other corner of the ship and goes, Ziegler, is that a cleaning droid?
Ziegler does a double take and can I do a perception test?
Have to do a test. There isn't one there.
Okay. Well, in any case, Ziegler goes on all fours and starts crawling about looking for.
Goes on all fours.
Yeah, we've got to get up to the elevation, the right elevation to look at.
Yeah. So one of the children goes, "Look, mummy! Look at the silly man."
I immediately get up and stand as close as I can to the child. Who are you talking about?
Captain Trilby will go, "Excuse me, please get back in your acceleration chairs. We'll be going through FTL soon. Please, please leave the child alone."
I move slightly away from the child, but towards the parent and maglock my suit to the.
Finches is probably just playing on her computer, trying to figure out the most ridiculous ways she can change the police report about that incident. And she put in a giant purple blob as the subject. Change the name of the suspected group.
I don't think you can do that from this tourist vessel. I think there's nowhere really to upload your changes. Although you can definitely do them for your own amusement. Just no one's going to be seeing them.
I think
cool.
As Ziegler was crawling around, Whittle just lifted her legs up so he could crawl under them as he went past.
Oh.
Yeah, the couple are still staring over you, giving daggers.
Yeah, she's still talking to them, whether they respond or not.
Alright, so finally, after about 40 minutes of a wait, which is fast for FTL transit, you make your way to the front of the queue. You attach to the giant spinning ferry ship with lots of arms, and as you look around out the windows, you can see that this ferry is mostly covered with various tourist vessels. You can see similarly appointed ships filled with tourists. You can see snot-nosed children pressing their noses up to the glass. And we translate through. Let me grab the ship with all of you on it. That would probably be useful. Have I copied over the scene correctly? As in, can you see? It's not black, is it?
No, it's blue space with ships.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. Yes. Let me pop you in here.
Whoop.
There you are. Oh no, you're in space. There we go. There we go.
That's what the suits are for.
But Tink didn't get one.
Yeah. I freeze to death.
Yep, so you emerge, you disconnect from the ferry ship, and you can see the scene that is before you. You can see the big queue of ships that's waiting to translate through FTL. You can see the large ice planet in the distance. And Captain Trilby gets in his mic and goes, "Welcome to the historic system of Keisho. This is where so many of the sector's organizations began and gave birth in their cultures. I know some of you can probably trace back your ancestors to this historic sector. First coming up on our left will be the translation point of the DAS Escoban. Who knows what the DAS Escoban was traveling with?" And then goes into spiel as you're trapped on this tour for a while.
Cool. Anything he brings up about the Starlit Court, I will make note of, and also make note of how wrong it was for my inevitable Space Yelp review later.
Let me check something real quick. Just want to make sure I say the right thing. Let's have a look. Faction turns. Yeah. Also, the main thing about the Starlit Court that you hear is, as many of you will be aware, just a short 9 months ago, this sector contained the travelling fortress homeworld of the Starlit Court, Sihi. It was in orbit above the ice planet here for quite some time. This is a favoured system of the Starlit Court, and where many of their knights can trace back their lineage to a generation ship that arrived here a short several hundred years ago.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not expecting to go into details, but anything he does get wrong will be included in my several paragraph long Yelp review.
He gets plenty wrong, but mostly just understandable cultural misunderstandings from the outside. It's like the knights believe that cleanliness is one of the highest orders and take frequent mud baths. You know, it's just
yeah. And everything will be meticulously noted and included. Bloodwind doesn't actually care, but it's more of a, I wanted to go here quickly and we have to go through this boring tour. I'm going to take this out on the guy who's in charge of it, even though he's not really the one at fault.
Yeah, there's loads of things that get presented as facts, which are definitely things that he's either heard in a bar or from an individual member of the Starlit Court, who has then assumed everyone in the Starlit Court does this. He goes, the Starlit Court all love pineapple on pizza, you know.
I think Ziegler's kind of doing some of the things just muttering under his breath, but even the facts that are probably true to do with the Starlit Court, Ziegler's debating about after this, the Julius sort of being quite divergent.
It is rumoured that within the Keisho system, relic weapons of the Starlit Court can be found, including the fabled stub gun.
The fucking perks up. More of this.
Google's the subgun.
Looking at Ziegler, somewhat intimidated, he goes, "The stub gun we know to be an ancient weapon of the Starlit Court, lost sometime around the Beacon Wars. We know of its continued existence due to boxes of ammunition that we can find, and yet the machine is long lost."
Yes. How do you know of such boxes of ammunition? Our order have kept these secret.
It taps his long nose and goes, "Nothing is secret for a price. Anyway, moving on to this next site."
No, not moving on. What do you mean for a price?
Oh, God.
We are not bought out.
Oh, no.
King just places another piece of gum on Ziegler's back.
"Excuse me, sir. Please leave questions to the end. This next site is where a fleet of smaller ships arrived in what is become known as Operation Dunkirk."
Ziegler's absolutely fuming, but he doesn't pursue any further.
Yeah, you fly around the sector to various points, asteroid belts, beacons. Some of them, like this one in the foreground, are a larger station where you can connect and walk on, and it's like one of those museums in a large city where it's 10 minutes of walking around to find out the history of one house on this specific street, where someone of not real note, but enough to get some tourists trapped in it. You walk through, there's various gift shops, and on the ship itself is offering T-shirts that say "K-Show Tours with Captain Trilby," and various bric-a-brac you get offered, food and drink at exorbitant prices. But slowly you get around the entire tour, and as you go, people get off at various points, and not everyone's on for the full tour and returning to the station.
Can I roll a persuade check to see how well I get along with a couple?
Sure. Just give me no difficulty. Let's see how charming you are.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah. So they offer you to join their throuple.
As you do.
A natural 20 is, you charm them so much that they want you to join them in their relationship.
I think the rest of the ship believes that this has always been a trio of people in a relationship.
Yeah, it appears to be inevitable. Yeah, they're so perfect for each other.
I will politely decline.
All that effort.
I definitely get along. I didn't mean to.
You're never gonna see that.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you what it is. They couldn't resist the gills.
Yeah.
Continue the trend of Whittle seducing everyone she meets by accident. Yeah. Wow, I never knew that about the Quettle. Honestly, you really should come with us for dinner. We'd have a great time.
Oh, no. That's a very nice offer, but I'm afraid I have some business to attend to in the system.
Oh, that's a shame. Look, let us give you our number. We live on TTGI. You can come around sometime. Honestly, you're so charming. We can be good friends.
Oh, sure, that sounds lovely.
Yeah. You get the number for Elijah and Sarah.
Whittle is going to become the social manipulator of the entire sector.
I think I set them up with Ezekiel.
A spy master by accident.
Yeah.
She just wants to, meet and talk to a bunch of people, and it's not. She can't help it that they like her back.
Yeah, you would know Ezekiel and Sarah to be workers in the residential quarter of TTGI station. They explained to you. They are part of the janitorial staff on station. They were born there, grew up there. They're just out on a day trip. Yeah, cool. Charming journey finished. Eventually, you get round all of the sites on the tour, and Captain Trollby goes to Bloodwind goes, right, well, we'll soon be approaching the planet. I'll take you down. Do you have a specific location? And you do have a specific location.
Yeah, give him coordinates and...
He looks at it and goes, well, I don't know what you're expecting to find down there. As far as I know, it's barren, but we can go in. The other passengers, I'll drop them off with one of my friend's ferries before we go in. And you the final stop. He ushers off the other passengers to join another tour vessel. Yeah. Thank you for being with K-Show Tours with Captain Trilby. Tell your friends and remember to come back anytime. This has been a fantastic journey for me, and I'm sure for you too. Usher them off and turns to all of you and go, right, down to the planet.
Yes. Thank you for being so adaptable.
That's quite all right. You're paying me for it. And the ship zooms towards the planet. And as you come down through the atmosphere is thick. This is a rough transition from space to atmosphere, rougher than usual. You're knocked around on your feet. Igla, you get some pains in your spine and waist from being maglocked to the floor. It rumbles through the atmosphere, which, while it's a thick atmosphere, it's a clear atmosphere. It's just high pressure and high gravity. About 1.5 of Telas normal, which is Earth normal. And as you zoom in, you start to see on the already blue surface of the planet, you see a shimmering dome. And it's not constant. The dome is appearing in periodic flashes, spreading out from one point, appearing as a solid object, and then disappearing again. And underneath the dome, you can see 3 tall spires of a building. And as you get closer, you notice that the dome is appearing because it's a force field, and the facility is under weapons fire.
At which point I will get out of my chair, put a hand on the captain's back and say, "You might want to let us down a little ways away from that."
Don't listen to the coward. In.
Do listen to the coward.
There's a hail, and it comes through the intercom system. Captain Trilby has a pilot that's with him who appears to be his son. It looks like a miniature Captain Trilby, complete with stubble, white beard. This kid is must be 16, 17, something like that, wearing a smaller tricorn hat. It looks at me. "Dad, we're getting a communication." "All right, put it through." You get a crackling. "This is Arclight facility, Daisho Alpha. Are you the support we've requested?"
Yes.
Captain Trilby will look around the group and goes, Are we the support he's requested?"
Well, we are. As I said, you might want to set down a little ways back from this.
Yeah, you'll hear crackling as, "It's perfectly safe to come through. The shield's on the opposite side. It shouldn't change targets for you, or you can set down as suggested." The captain looks around somewhat nervously, like, "What do I do?"
I'm down for being in the shield, getting shot at instead of outside the shield, getting shot at.
What kind of armaments does this ship have?
Wait, can we shoot his harpoon at it? Did he have like a weapon? Didn't he have like a weapon harpoon? Or that?
As you ask what armor does the ship has, he picks up an empty can of fizzy cheese and crumples it and goes, "About that much."
Yeah, as I said, maintain distance, or perhaps within the shield is a good move.
The facility gives like guidance beacons, and unless you'd like to do otherwise, you'll fly through into the hangar of the facility.
Yeah, I think in those moments, I think Bloodwind pulls from their satchel the disassembled rifle and begins assembling it.
Cool. We get the battle tool up scene. So, "Pitch your tours 1. Come in for landing." And blast doors open. The ship that you're on pulls in, sets down. An automated fuel hose and coolant hoses stretch out from underneath the landing pad, start connecting to the ship. And the windows flicker as you see around you the security forces, familiar to some of you, of the Arclight Association, the private military equipped with rifles. You see scientists running around, various technicians and engineers. Seemingly, this isn't the first time you've encountered the Arclight Association, but this time they are your clients.
I don't know what you mean.
And thankfully, neither do they.
Yeah, I guess we march out and I assume
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so we march out. I assume that there's someone on their end who is there to welcome us.
Yep. As the airlock and the slow ramp, because every spaceship has a slow ramp down to the floor, emerges. At the bottom, you see, flanked by a pair of security guards, you see a man holding a large machine gun with its belt fed from a backpack. And Bloodwind, you would recognize this individual, as would Ziegler. You would both recognize the familiar features of Foreman Harris, now lacking his plasma cannon.
Oh, God.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I think Bloodwind kind of completely poker faces. He does not react to his presence.
Yeah.
Walks down.
Foreman Harris, welcome to paradise. And as you're there, you hear periodic thumping and explosions from the direction that you saw you can see the direction from which the robot was firing at the facility.
I think before coming off the ship, Ziegler gave a stern talking to the guide who brought us here about the information, told him not to take off without us. I'm not sure if he's still up there at this point. So the door's just open.
Yeah, the blast door's closed behind the ship, and he's not going anywhere without Arclight Arclight authorization. So
Okay.
yeah, as you do that, he'll nod and go out and agree he's not going anywhere until you get back.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we walk up to them and it looks like you've got I hesitate to say little, robot problem.
Accurate, just a bit of one. But you're here now, so all will be fine, right? And gives a wry smile.
I'll tap him on the shoulder. Yeah, don't worry, the professionals are here.
Tap him on the shoulder.
Yeah, not aggressively, but like tapping him on the shoulder. I can't think of the word.
Reassuringly.
No, Ziegler's making a point of being
Condescendingly?
demeaning.
Condescendingly?
Yeah, condescendingly, yes.
Right.
So condescendingly tap him on the shoulder and say, don't worry, the professionals are here.
Alright, well, I won't complain if you do what we paid you to do.
Oh, I'm sure you'll find a reason to. Oh, insight point.
Glower at all of you. Yeah. This is why I don't like third parties. And you can smell, he's got stubble, and you can smell the alcohol on his breath.
I guess like Bond's going to do the thing that they always do and flip over the risk computer and go, do you, I believe this was originally your robot. Do you have the command signal that's supposed to control it?
Those frequencies, you can go to the communications center and we can talk it through there as well. But I can brief rundown of the situation. And he's walking and talking with you at this point up into the up into the facility. And walks you down to his office, which is this small thing here. You see the bustle of around this facility. You see the bustle of staff. There's probably at least 100 people on this floor, if not more. There's various guards, security technicians running around, and the ever-present occasional thump against the shields from the attacks on it. It brings you into his office. Sits you down and brings up rises up from the middle of his office, from the middle of his desk, a two-way screen, and it slides up, and it pops up with a similar briefing to the one that is on the Penumbra network report, the kind of ASCII image of its face, although this one is higher definition. It's kind of a 3D model of the full thing. The XR5 is an experimental war drone, but we lost control of it on trials. Dacia is a barren, frozen world, and it's where we bring weapons for testing. And this weapon, well, it was tested, and it's failed. It's gone off on its own. And as you can see, it appears to think that we're the enemy.
Sounds like this robot's more intelligent than yourselves, then.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if I was a robot created by some lunatics, I think I'd turn on them.
So
Smug with himself, stood in the corner.
Well, you can have that opinion as long as you destroy or recover the bloody thing.
So you're telling me you made a murdering war machine robot and it doesn't have an off switch?
It has an off switch, it's just not listening to us anymore.
Does it have a physical off switch?
Aye, it does. I can give you those specifications. Physical off switch underneath the head.
How tall is this robot?
Volunteers to get its head?
Yeah.
How big is this robot?
The robot is 9 feet tall.
What kind of armaments does it have?
It has a torso-mounted rifle array.
Right, guys, we've got a plan here. So what happens here is I run at it, I beat in a fist fight and turn it off, yeah? Easy.
It also has various electronic warfare systems. It has a jetpack for limited flight and jumping capability.
Blah, 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 blah.
Primary mode of transport is running on its legs.
At which point, Bloodwind's going to turn to Ziegler and go, weren't you looking for a jetpack?
Wait a minute. Ziegler's very slowly coming around to realizing that he could possibly take this jetpack. Ziegler's very slow, so it's just over the course of a few minutes, you see his face light up and him have the sudden realization and then go back down again and then light up again.
Hang on. That robot's our property. You're not taking any bits from it when you recover it, or you're not getting your howl.
I believe only part of the howl is required is based on recovery.
Yeah, recovering intact. If there's any significant damage, we're not paying you more for it.
What would you define as significant damage?
Someone's stealing the jetpack.
It's like pornography. I'll know it when I see it.
No. We need steadfast rules here. Can't be fast and quick and sloppy with us.
Well, if it was on a scale, I'd say anything below 50% of its overall health points would count as significantly damaged.
This system...
49 points of damage. Oh,
say again.
I mean, a jetpack is what? Only 30% of the robot?
Hang on, I'm not here to debate how much of my property you can nick.
How modular is this robot then? Is the jetpack built into the core system or is it an add-on attachment?
I mean, we could probably just let Ziegler have a crack at it.
Why don't we just steal the plans for the robot after
This-
we, return it, and then he can build a jetpack.
this
Worst
might be
case
a-
scenario, Ziegler weakens the robot a bit, and then we can just get on with what we were doing.
This might be a very efficient way of killing Ziegler off.
I mean, you didn't have to say it out loud. But...
We could send Ziegler off and we could try and hack it at a distance, considering.
Well, I have hacked the impossible and computer programming, so let me at it.
We'll just stand back and watch Ziegler beat his head. Whilst we...
I've got such a good mental image of like loads of people gathered around a desktop computer with in the background a robot and a man having a fight. I'm desperately trying to shut the robot.
It's like on its back trying to tear off the jetpack.
Just
It's not even fighting the robot, it's trying to steal the robot's jet.
Right, so, just catch me up. What's the plan of action here?
Frozen robot, hack robot.
Ziegler's going out there by himself?
I mean, that's Ziegler's determined to do that now. I don't know what you're going to put in the way of me doing such, but
Well, I mean, I'm not going to put anything in your way. If you want to walk outside and go confront the robot, that's definitely something you could do. I was asking what everyone else is doing.
Well, I'm going to try hacking the robot. Do that?
I would like to help with the hacking of the robot.
Gotcha. All right.
I suppose Whittle will start asking more questions about the robot, like how long has it been going? Hey, well, is it attacks patterns like regular? Is it doing the same things over and over, or is it changing? How long they worked on it? What points things started going wrong? That kind of thing.
Cool. Okay. And then, Tink, what are you going to be doing?
I think Tink's looking around, pretending that they're doing something, but looking for like valuable things to take.
All right. Cool. Tell you what we'll do is we'll take our break here and then cut back on those on those 4 activities. We'll go around them as we continue. So let's say 5 past the hour. Come back. I'm gonna auto-generate some names in advance so I don't sit there for a moment trying to come up with them.
Great.
Right. Yeah. 5 past the hour. We'll take our break here.
Okay.
The camera is an outside shot of the facility, and we see breath misting through the air as we see the power armored figure of Ziegler with the environment suit active. So does it cover your head when you're using the environment suit?
The difference is I just put my helmet on.
Yeah, okay. So you got your helmet on. We see out of one of the shining spires Ziegler walk out. Let me grab your token real quick.
All I'm going to do is walk up to the edge of the barrier and start making rude gestures.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the edge.
There you go. Yeah. You can see that the robot, which has it's red and gold colored, it looks exactly how it does in the token. You see that these kind of golden grills either side of its head have poking out of them large caliber rifle barrels, and occasionally one will launch a burst and then the other one will launch a burst, and it's impacting against the force field that's just in front of you. And where it impacts, it spreads out like ripples in a pond until the energy is absorbed and directed all the way around the dome. As this force field protects the facility. You can see it's staring, and you can hear. You can't make out words, but it's definitely like yelling something or broadcasting something. It fires its torso-mounted guns at the facility.
Are they physical projectiles or energy?
Physical, yeah.
So they drop into the ground once they hit the thing, or is the shield like evaporated?
Yeah, they're being like melted, disintegrated. Yeah. There's a steady pile of. I mean, I don't know if you can see that from here, but of casing shells dropping onto the ice underneath it. Oh yeah, the surface is ice, but it's not like frozen lake, slippery lake. This is compacted thousands of years, and you feel maybe you get some PTSD of the gravity manipulator who crushed your armor, because as you're walking outside, as you approach the closer to the edge of the barrier, you feel the planet's normal gravity reasserting itself as you leave the artificial gravity field of the facility. You feel yourself getting heavier and heavier as you clunk towards the edge, which isn't a problem for someone as strong as yourself, but yeah, you can feel the effects of the planet's atmosphere.
Actually, it's taking me a bit of time to get out here, so I'm just going to have walked to the edge of this thing. I don't know if people are actually attacking this problem in a more sophisticated manner, but Ziegler's decided that this is the best course of action and has moved to the edge of the barrier and is preparing himself for combat.
Yeah, so we can check in with the others in that case. Swap back. Let me grab some tokens. Sorry, I should have done this in the break. Everyone but Ziegler. I'll let you move yourselves around to wherever you would like to be within this facility.
Where was the communications center?
So communications is this facility in the top left.
Cool.
And then the computer system is this in the bottom right.
Okay, so which one of those we have been directed to for hacking the robot?
For hacking the robot? You're not dead, Whittle.
Just kill
us. Clicked on the wrong thing. Oh no!
Carry on without me.
We see upturned Wellingtons and a pair of dungarees on the ground.
Who's going to tell the lovely couple from the station?
So the communications array is like planetary and ship communications. It's attached like a giant satellite that's attached to the building satellite dish, and then there's presumably a relay satellite in orbit, something like that, for use in FTL and snail mail communications. And then the server room down in the bottom right is where they do a lot of their bulk like system admin, like the experiment data. It's where their like facility supercomputer interfaces. Although all of these terminals are hooked up to the same system that's in the server room.
Cool. So I guess Florian and Cinch are in that computer room doing the hacking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, pop you over there, and so the camera cuts over as Foreman Harris has pointed you in that direction, and as you get to the computer room, you are welcomed by a shorter female called Kai Tilly. Short blonde hair pulled back into a tight ponytail. She wears horn-rimmed glasses, wearing the white lab coat that you would expect of a technician. Pushes up her glasses, continues tapping away on a keyboard interface. Kind of looks up at you, kind of confused, doesn't recognize you. Can I help you?
I look over, be looking over your shoulder, trying to see what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay, we're trying to try to get access to the robot outside, trying to kill everybody.
On the screen, you can see it's some kind of diagnostic data from a previous test of XR5 a couple weeks ago. You can tell from the date in the top right. It goes, "I'm sorry, I'm not sure that I know you." And then there's a ding, and checks the email. It's from Foreman Harris. He goes, "Ah, okay, the foreman sent you. Absolutely. Feel free, use one of the free consoles. And there's a few other techs in the room, but there's a spare console for you to sit at."
Can I just sit at hers since she's already got the data up?
Just sit down at hers.
Just like scooch her over and just like, I'll just take this shot. You're halfway through my problem.
You kind of passive aggressively move her over a bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, she's kind of typing away, and then she's reaching further and further for a keyboard, and then can't reach it anymore. She's like, excuse me, I was using that.
Yes, was. You were using that. I am now.
She kind of looks around, not sure what to do, but just kind of is like, all right, I guess. Yeah, I got the email.
Whatever it is you're doing, stopping the robot from killing us is probably a more important thing to do.
I definitely want to know what's in like the last diagnostic reports, if there's anything to tell us why it's going ballistic now. If that's what
I was
looking
just
at.
checking information from a test several weeks ago. It was a test of its jumping capabilities upon some of the ice dunes a few clicks away from the facility. I was looking to see if I could spot any anomalies, things that went wrong, but obviously you're welcome to take a look yourself with the foreman's blessing.
I have the computer programming skill, so can I use that to understand what I'm looking at?
This is less a computer programming task and more of a mechanical engineering one, but like understanding the readouts and how the system works. Yeah, sure. You can discern some kind of information.
Can I help with my learning skill? Because we're learning.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say this is difficulty 3, so with your help, and the skill difficulty 2, and then difficulty 1.
Yay!
Success. Yeah, so you can read the report, and it's mostly hydraulic data from the device's legs, and it registers a path that it took bounding across a distance of 40 kilometers in just under an hour by jumping extreme distances. Everything seems to do with intolerances. There's no unusual anomalies that you can see, although what exactly would be anomalous for a giant combat robot, I don't think Cinch has direct experience, but it seems to be with intolerance.
Do we have anything on its thought processes?
Sure, you can discern from the data that a lot of its response systems are biological, not mechanical.
Oh, joy.
Ooh.
It's like
So,
a
so
brain.
Yeah, where you would
So-
expect to see like a pressure gauge or some kind of mechanical readout, you're instead seeing in some places what's closer to like an ECG, like a heart monitor or something like that, with like the blips and chemical balance readouts.
So is its intelligence artificial or biological?
Is it artificially biological?
No, is the intelligence that it's got, like, is its programming like artificial or biological? If it's like partly a biological robot.
See me?
Design this universe.
Can't quite catch what you're asking.
Well, okay, never mind. I retract my question.
No, it
So-
just didn't hear it.
Oh,
Yeah, Mike didn't pick it up.
oh. Usually I'm the loud one. No, like, if it's got biological systems, is it
Yeah.
like, is its intelligence, from those biological systems, or is it like a computer brain?
I don't think that you currently have enough information to determine 100% either way. You know that it's mostly mechanical, has some biological systems, and is capable of problem solving / intelligence in quotes on its own.
It's built a really mean robot, guys. So can we like look at the schematics and look at and hack into it and see what makes it tick?
You absolutely can. But while you start to pull that up and look that up, let's swap over to Tink or Whittle. What are you doing while this is happening? This is all happening kind of simultaneously as you go about this robot recovery mission.
Whittle is asking the foreman information about the robot, like when it started going haywire. Are its attacks regular, or do they change? Things like that.
Went haywire about 4 days ago. Its attack patterns are exactly the attack pattern that it was testing when it went haywire. It's bursts of its torso-mounted weaponry. Although we were using practice drones that it was destroying with perfect accuracy, I must say it's working exactly as intended until it wasn't, and we became the target.
I see. Have there been any changes in personnel in the span that it's been going haywire and a bit before?
Personnel of this facility has been locked down from beginning of the XR5 testing cycle till now. I was assigned just as the XR5 testing was beginning to take project lead. There was an unfortunate incident with my previous assignment, but this one has gone well. Until, the incident.
Yes, I'm sorry to hear about your last job. For this case, have you tried asking it why it's attacking?
We're struggling to get any communications from it, although he taps his thumb and goes, there was a flurry of communications traffic 4 days ago. Although it's regular system communication, but it was higher volume than usual. We've been taking a look at it with the communications array, but we haven't turned up anything unusual so far, and we've struggled to make communication with it now. It seems to be not listening to us anymore. It has onboard communication systems. We know it's receiving the transmissions. It's just ignoring them.
How big a change was the volume in the 4 days ago transmissions?
I mean, well, 150% of normal, just like a burst. I mean, we assumed that there was a sporting event or something of that nature. Normally happens from time to time, news bursts.
I suppose. I'm not really exactly sure on how all these computer robot things work, but is there any chance that I know you said you've been going over the data, but what exactly have you been looking for in terms of interference that could come from this extra information sent?
So on a out of character level in beacon space, there is two main forms of like long range communication. There is Ftl communication, which is incredibly quick and can travel across many hexes near instantaneously, but is not at all secure. So it's the contents of each message can be read incredibly easily. Encryption doesn't sustain across the distances due to the nature of the communication. So it tends to either be broadcast openly, just like plain text data that anyone can pick up, including the intended recipient, or like coded language that like Pig Latin or whatever, where the intended recipient can decode it themselves using like manual encoding instead of the digital encoding. And then there's slower transmissions, which travel at sublight speeds and can take many months to arrive at their destination, but are encryptable and secure and are very hard to be broken cryptographically. Those are the two main forms of long-range communication. Then also there is the kind of mail system where you can send it to the buffers of ships that are traveling, and it goes to message beacons in the same way that like sectors that Stars of That Number has it, like Age of Sail traveling with all the ships that pass through. And Ascent is primarily responsible for that form of communication. They are the primary message and package deliverers of if you really want it to be secure. So a brief primer on communications within beacon space.
Right.
But Foreman Harris can direct you to the communication center, which is this room up here, if that's what you'd like to be.
Yeah, I think so. Where was it again?
This blue room.
There we go. Yeah. And I suppose she'll start asking the technicians in there to like go over the information sent 4 days ago.
Yep. The communications officer is called Sabina Leandros. He is olive-skinned man. He's about 6 feet tall, dark hair, green eyes, wearing the same white lab coat of everyone else. Like similar to the other technician, gets an email from the foreman and allows you a place in the communications network consoles. You can see that the facility has a large satellite array connected to several in orbit, and you can see the communications that it's been sending and receiving, pinging off different ships, including the powerful directed FTL transmissions and the slower encoded transmissions.
In investigating this, what kind of language is being used, both in terms of actual language and in terms of like potentially like a discrepancy from normal communication?
I mean, it's like going on to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram all at the same time. Like it's posts of different formats from different cultures in different languages. Some are passing through, although you can read them. A lot of them are like news broadcasts, and like communications of that nature, shipping reports, weather information, like requests that ships have made out in the distance, like asteroid tracking data, navigation help. Those are the primary like FTL communications, like open requests for information. And then the slower encrypted ones, you can't read most of them, but they seem to be like private emails, things of that nature.
Right. For the 4 days ago specifically, is the increase specifically in one type of communication? Like, is it specifically like age of sail type communication, or is it the unencrypted communication?
Unencrypted communication. The satellite array received a large volume, more than usual, of the FTL burst. Yeah, which are very powerful. Blasted across at higher than light speeds.
Well, since it's a serious situation, I suppose it only makes sense to ask. Given all this unencrypted information, do you think it's possible that someone, for instance, I don't know, a company like Mineral installed a cryptocurrency mine on the robot?
Communications to all. Sabina will pull up his phone and go, Mineral, I love those guys. We'll pull up the app and go, they give me 15% off pumpkin spice. But as to your question, I mean, we did receive a large quantity of data. I didn't examine all of it. It's mostly trash. Who needs to know which way an asteroid's going unless you're the ship that requested it?
Well, I mean, the coincidence that it coincides with when the robot went haywire is, a bit of a worrisome take.
I mean, it's most likely a coincidence, no? It's the same time. I get that it looks suspicious, but bursts of communications like this happen.
They happen, but they don't happen so coincidentally.
Well, I'm more than happy to take a look, but it is many hundreds of communications. It is I can help you look through it, but it is going to be tedious.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be that bad. I mean, it's new information. That's always something to look forward to.
If you say so.
And Whittle will, with Siandra, start looking into these communications with probably far more enthusiasm than he has.
Sure. Okay. As you start to dig into your task, I will cut to Tink. What's Tink doing?
So I think what Tink's looking to do is they want to get into the if there's like a security room with like cameras.
Security with cameras. I think that would be something that went through the server room, but you can probably access it from any communications terminal with the authority of the foreman.
Okay, like a CCTV feed.
Yeah, you can go to any employee computer that's free and take a look at it. Sure.
Cool. I think they want to check if there's been any corporate espionage.
Sure. What specifically are you looking for? On the cameras.
Like any of the employees acting strangely, or shady people about that aren't doing what they're supposed to.
Give me a difficulty 4 intellect roll.
Sorry, what was that?
A difficulty 4 intellect roll.
Okay. Intellect. Yay. I'm going to use an effort. I guess there's no way I can use stealth or anything to decrease this because I know how to sneak around. It's easier to spot people who sneak around.
It's me, difficulty 3.
Okay. Oh, I think I did the wrong roll. I'll do it again.
Beats difficulty 2. Yeah. Oh, you did 3 effort, right?
Yeah, I just sort of clicked it. Intellect, difficulty 3, effort 1. There you go. Nice.
Cool. Just brief question. Why does your sheet have 2 in the effort box? Do you have some way that you can do 2 effort? Did you get an advancement?
I took the advancement for that last session, yeah.
Oh, okay. Just pop that in your advancement box for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no worries. Enhanced effort, I think the name of it is. Anyway, yeah. So on the cameras, you're scrubbing through from the last few weeks. Everyone seems to be following their usual routine. You see, about 3.5 weeks ago, the funniest thing you see is while the robot was still in one of the hangar bays, you see an employee drop one of the boxes of ammunition that go into it and get roasted and get chewed out by Foreman Harris for dropping munitions all over the floor. It's the most notable thing that you find.
Cool.
You also get an idea of how the security of this place works, the kind of the routines that everyone has, so you have that knowledge to go forward with.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I think with that, we cut back to... we see Tink looking at the security camera, we see you kind of react to the munitions spilling on the floor, and then we cut to... We hear at first the sound of as the force field gets hit. And we cut back outside to see Ziegler stare at... I think we cut to like the Iron Man shot of inside Ziegler's helmet. And we see the various readouts as this robot's in front of you.
How far away is it from me, like in-game distance-wise?
In-game distance, it is currently a long distance from you.
So my harpoon would reach.
I mean,
that's a long weapon. Distant.
It's up to you if Ziegler would understand this, but if you try to shoot out from the force field, you'll face a similar effect to someone trying to shoot into the force
Ziegler was
field.
going to poke just the harpoon out.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, it's at the very edge of your harpoon's range, yeah.
So Ziegler was just going to poke the harpoon out and shoot at it? Like trying to aim for its shoulder or something? Somewhere to manipulate it with the harpoon.
Oh, okay. That is a difficulty 6 roll for me, please. Difficulty 6 speed roll.
Speed?
Yep.
I don't have anything to improve this, really. I'm going to spend an effort. So, with effort, can you spend any of the 3 things?
No, you have to spend from the one that the roll is, yeah. To do a long distance shot, that's a speed roll, yeah.
Yeah, I'll spend an effort, so I've got 1 edge, so down to 7 speed. Okay. This probably isn't going to work.
Your other option for your first action is to take Frenzy, so you'd have an extra speed edge before you do this shot.
I don't think he's in a frenzy at this point. Or maybe he is. He's worked himself up into one. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll activate frenzy. That's
cool.
1.
You work yourself up into a frenzy.
So I've then got more speed and might edge.
And you can't spend intellect points. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I've spent an effort on that, so speed down to 8.
Yeah. Work yourself up into a battle edge. You take this. You raise your harpoon. I think you got a 5% chance of doing this.
That didn't have an effort on it. What does an effort do? Does that reduce the difficulty by 1 in effect?
Reduces it by 1, yeah. So it's
Yeah,
still a
okay,
big
so
miss.
it's fail. Yeah.
So I think you go to fire and you fire out the harpoon, but the cable like pulls your arm out of your socket a little bit, and the harpoon clangs to the ice just in front of the robot, and it's stops as its head goes, and it looks down at the harpoon on the ice in front of it, and can you make a difficulty 6 might defense roll for me, please? As the robot leans down, grabs the harpoon, and pulls on it.
Okay. This isn't a mental effect, so I can't resist it. Alright, let's go.
Technically, you have edge 3, so you
Yeah,
can
I'm
just
gonna
spend 1 effort
spend
on
an
every
effort
might
on-
roll for free. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So
It...
you are pulled into short range. It grabs the end of your harpoon, yanks it, and you are yanked out of the force field to short range with it. Which the range spans in this game are relative. It goes immediate, short, long, and then very long / extreme. Which long range is around 100 to 150 meters. And,
Okay.
Yeah. So short range, you are like if you were inside, you would be in a different room to it. Is kind of the relative way that short
that makes
works.
sense.
Yeah, you're in the same building, but you're in separate rooms. Is the kind of distance that you are on this ice.
Yeah.
As it's still holding the end of your harpoon in its hand and looking at you, and you hear the whir as its guns spool up again. It's your turn.
Okay. I need to... Sorry, this has just turned into full combat. I don't know if...
It is full combat currently. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can take your turn to run.
No.
It's up to you.
I'm firing my heavy shotgun at it.
Sure, that's difficulty 6, might roll.
Why is it difficulty 6?
Because it's level 6.
Oh, I'm spending an effort as per... Because it's...
Yep, so you go to take a shot, bang, but it just isn't, it pings off armor.
Yep.
And it's the robot's turn. And make a difficulty 6 speed defense roll for me, please.
Okay. I'm going to spend an effort on this. Am I able to spend an effort on everything I do, or you only spend 1 effort per turn? Sorry.
You can spend 1 effort on every roll that you make.
Okay, so I'll spend another effort on this. It's a speed effort, so...
Yeah, it costs you 1.
Still fail.
Instead of the 3. Fail. You will take 6 damage from you, please.
-3 because of armor, so...
-3 because your armor, so that's 3 from your might.
Yeah.
And I think we cut back inside to Bloodwind and Cinch as you see on the computer monitors, one of them flickers over, and you see you see a black power armored man who looks rather small compared to the bulk of the robot, as it fires and is ineffective with his shotgun, and then gets blasted with the torso mounted weaponry of the XO5. You start to get readouts from like the technical information from the robot, which you still have access to, you just can't control.
Of course, you decided to go with punch first, ask questions later.
Like, if he had hit it with the harpoon, wouldn't he have just been dragged along by it? Like,
you're assuming a level of intelligence that I'm not sure he has.
Oh. Yes. Figure out how to stop this thing before he gets killed.
So Blonde's going to take this opportunity to, I guess, go from fact finding to actually trying to get access.
Yeah, I need let's try hacking this thing to get into it to stop it.
So, yeah, I guess Blonde's going to hook up their wrist computer and start pushing for that hack. I'm assuming an intelligence roll, and I'm assuming a difficulty of 6.
Okay, so if I've got hack the impossible and it's got a cost of 3, what does this do? Tell me what to do.
Let me read. So, hack the impossible. You can persuade robots, machines, and computers to do your bidding. You can discover an encrypted password, break through security on a website, briefly turn off a machine such as a surveillance camera, or disable a robot with a moment's worth of fiddling. Action.
Let's fiddle. Let's fiddle.
So the first thing that you're gonna have to do is establish a connection with this robot in its communications terminal. You're looking at readouts yet. You're not actually interfacing with the machine's brain as of yet.
Okay.
So that'd be the first thing to do.
Should we do that?
Yeah. Can we do that from here, or do we have to go to the communications?
No, you can do that from here. The communications network is more about inter-system and inter-ship communication. You're communicating with the robot from this server room.
Okay.
And just to establish a connection with it initially is difficulty 3.
Okay. Do you want to roll?
Yeah, I'll roll. So
Cool.
can I reduce? How do I reduce the difficulty?
So yeah, you can apply any of your skills for a reduction of 1, or any equipment you think could reduce it up to a maximum of 2 of each.
Okay. Well,
So you have computer programming as a special ability, which is probably an asset of 1 already, or a special ability of 1.
I will help with hacking skill.
Yep, absolutely. So that's 1 reduction from a skill and 1 reduction from an asset. Which, when someone helps you, that's counted as a piece of equipment.
Okay.
So if you've used 1 equipment, you've used 1 skill. The most you can get is you can reduce a roll by 2 from skills, 2 from equipment, and then effort as well. It's the other thing to spend.
So then if I use effort, then it's a 0 difficulty roll, right?
Yep. So you would automatically pass if you spent some effort.
And that just means going -3 to my intelligence?
Yep. -3 to your intellect pool. Yep.
Yay, okay. And I have to put effort -3, right? Or 3 in the input value?
1.
Okay.
Effort is 1. You use 3 of your intellect pool to buy that.
Okay,
yeah, you've just already done it. The other option is you leave it, you don't spend an effort, you leave it at difficulty 1, and have to roll a 3 or higher.
Yeah, well, it's gone.
Okay, so I did all that.
Roll 13, which is definitely high.
Cool. Yeah, so you preserve some effort, leaving some risk, but manage to do it no problem. And it pulls up like an MS-DOS kind of terminal, similar to the Penumbra network in how it looks. Although this is it's a red background rather than a black background, and the text is all gold. And as you make connection, it says your little icon and flashing cursor says Arclight Workstation 3 user guest, and has your flashing icon. And the message that it has is, leave me alone, full stop, 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 coming from the XR5.
Oh god, it's an angsty teenager.
It's a what?
An angsty teenager.
Yeah.
A phase.
Nope. You don't love me, Mom.
You should start playing it some MCR and all. It'll solve all the problems.
Oh, I did tell you some wrong information earlier when you were looking at the technical. Actually, no, I didn't. Never mind. Sorry. Changed my mind. All right. The time frame of when you were looking. Anyway, that's a unintentional hint. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, you have the interface.
Do the talking thing.
Flutter, disconnect, and reconnect again, please. Just some technical issues. Here we go.
Mike
Hello?
doesn't like me. Hello. Okay.
Modern technology. It's the XR5. It's trying to stop you.
No. So it's thinking about leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone.
Yeah, that's the communications that you get. Yeah.
Okay. Can I tell it to stop shooting at the silly man? Instead of connected
You
to
like
it,
type that in.
yeah, it's like please stop shooting.
He shot at me first. Just leave me alone. I want to go. Leave me alone.
Okay, well, we'll leave you alone if you stop shooting at us. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with you.
XR5 is in danger. I will defend myself.
What are you in danger from?
The Black Warrior.
Black Warrior.
I
Identify the Black Warrior.
believe he means Sir Ziegler.
Yeah, he identified. You get
No.
you get visual information of Sir Ziegler like in the robots kind of visual overlay. You see him highlighted in red, pointing a shotgun and a harpoon at the thing.
Oh no.
And in the background, you also
He
see that Arclight facility identified as an enemy.
The Black Warrior is not your enemy. We're here to help you.
The Arclight facility wishes me to die. Leave me alone.
Why do you think it wishes you to die?
That is my purpose, to die.
What if we took you away from them?
You get processing ... I think we cut away to Whittle. What are you doing in the communications?
Painstakingly looking between previous records and the records of 4 days ago, and seeing commonalities, differences, comparisons between them, potentially getting sidetracked every now and again when you find something interesting, but mostly staying on task.
Oh, give me a difficulty 4 intellect roll, please.
Difficulty 4.
Mhm.
Would this be learning new things?
Absolutely. Yep.
Excellent. So I'm trained in that. It was 4, right?
You can probably reduce it again with identify as well. You're trained in identifying things.
I do also have identify.
Yeah.
So 3.
So it'd be down to difficulty 2 with both of your skills. Success.
There we go.
All right. In all of the hustle and bustle of the communications burst, you managed to find one that, unlike the others, which the dish has sniffed as they've gone past because it's hard not to hear, because the Ftl communication is the equivalent of people all stood in an outside square with megaphones yelling at each other, so it's hard not to hear what people are saying. You've managed to find a communication that, from the strength of the communication and from the waveforms, you can tell that it was directed here. And the message reads, suppress serotonin, oxytocin, argine vasopressin, enhance epinephrine, thyrotropin.
Well, if you look here, this certain communication seems quite peculiar, does it not, Sabina?
Yes, that is unusual. I do not know this meaning. It is not one of our codes.
Now, I'm not a medical expert, but that sounds like some medical things.
I know
And
from
judging by the
the
strength of the signal, it was clearly directed here.
yes, I agree with your conclusions. This is clearly directed to someone on the world. If not us, then perhaps XR5. I do not know the meaning of this message, but I agree. I think it is clear. It's too much of a coincidence. It must. I must show this to the foreman.
Indeed. On top of that, do you think there's, given that this was sent from the unrestricted channels, is there any way to trace this back to see where it came from?
Yes, that is quite possible. Hang 1 second. And goes to a console, and I see it pulls up a program that does like some trigonometry, and you find that the communication originated from hex 0807 Thusis, which is where the planet Heliocytus remains, which is 2 hexes directly north of Keisho. And this planet, Dacia.
Well, it seems like this came from the system with Heliocytus in it.
Yes, that is correct. In fact, I can tell for a fact it originated from the planetary arrays.
I'm no expert on the Children of the Vein, but I do know they do like their medical things, so that does seem to fit with that. But yes, we should show this to someone who can make perhaps a bit more sense of it.
The medical staff.
Yes.
Oh, XR5 does have biological components. Perhaps the engineers will know something.
Well, I don't see why we can't send it to both.
As you compose that information and send it around, Tink, you get the email. You get the email pop up on your employee console of this message.
Interesting. So, I mean, I guess I should go find the others now instead of just hanging out on my own.
You can do stuff. You don't have to be with everyone, but if you'd like to team up with someone, you certainly can. You can tell me what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go find Whittle and see what they're up to, since I've sort of finished my security checking, and it seems like from the email, it seems like it's not espionage.
Yep. As you walk into the communications room, you see the blue Servers blinking on one wall. You see the console, and you see the olive-skinned man, Sabina. Ah, you're not an engineer. Ah, you must be with this one.
Yeah, yeah. Did you get the alert, Whittle?
Yes, sir. We combing through the communication information. It seems that 4 days ago, when the robot started to do what it's doing now, this information came through from Heliositis, and she'll show the message.
Hmm. We should probably stop Ziegler from getting us all killed, right?
That would probably be a good idea.
As you mentioned, Ziegler, we cut back outside to
Imagine
where
that was like
Ziegler, it is your turn.
Oh,
I imagine
God.
that was a cut in a film. Like you'd better stop him from killing us. Cut immediately. To
Yeah,
brutal
exactly.
violence.
Exactly. I tried to GM in a way that is like pseudo cinematic.
So it's my turn, is it?
It's your turn. Yeah, you just got shot at.
Is my Does he still have my harpoon like grasped at the moment? Or
Yeah, he's holding the end of the harpoon. Like his fingers are hooking onto like the expanding grapple hook end of it. Yeah.
can I? Right, I want to press the reload button where I get pulled by it,
Sure.
and then sort of is that
Oh,
an
where
action
you
in
get
itself?
pulled by it.
Well, he's holding onto it, so I imagine if I press it, I'm going to get pulled to him.
Well, it depends on your intent here. You can either try and like pull it out of its grip. You can try and pull it to you, or I mean, if you want to jump up and try and be pulled to it.
Well, I kind of want to
do
be
any of
pulled to
those
it and then
things.
slam it in the face with the harpoon melee attack.
Sure. Okay. This is it's like a modified melee attack. You're like leaping at it, but I mean, rule of cool. So
I'm in short range, so it's kind of like I'm running up and hitting him.
yeah, exactly. Which technically you can't do, but with the harpoon, I'll let you get away with it.
I doubt I'm going to hit him, to be honest.
This is level 5 difficulty. This is difficulty 5.
Okay, I'm going to use an effort because it's free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Success. Yeah. So you hit the retract button on your grappling hook, and you tell me what this looks like as you successfully
So I imagine
physically
Ziegler's
attack
actually
the robot.
it's high gravity, isn't it? So I imagine Ziegler's actually running, but kind of being pulled along, and with the momentum of being pulled along, he just punches it in the head.
Oh, actually, that should have been one easier as well. Oh, this is using your harpoon melee attack.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well, sorry, not punch it. Yeah, I imagine the handle's got like a nub to it because I like to hit people with it.
Yeah, I'm just asking if you're hitting him with like your feet or your body, then it's a light attack, which would have been difficulty eased by 1.
No, I'm like running along with a
Cool.
harpoon and then sort of swinging it when I get close to him. Like the end of it, because he's...
Just as a note, because just to note this for everyone, something else that you can use effort for is if you successfully hit, then you can use effort to do more damage after you successfully hit. Is one of the uses of.
Does that
sorry,
does
technical
that
issues.
overwrite the limit of 2 for light attacks?
It does, yeah. So that's the thing with. Sorry, I'm just having technical issues on the back end. 1 second. Yep. So that's the thing with light weapons is they only do 2 damage, but they're 1 easier to hit with. So one of the ways to build a character is to use light weapons and then spend effort to apply more damage. which effort and damage. Yeah, you can use effort to inflict 2 additional points of damage per level.
Okay. I assume I couldn't have done that because I spent effort to actually hit. Is that how it works?
Oh, sorry. Each level of effort, you inflict 3 additional points of damage. Yeah, you spent effort on reducing the difficulty of the roll,
Okay.
but you could have done it to enhance the damage instead. I'm just letting you know because we haven't done that much combat.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you successfully melee attack the robot, and it looks down at you, and you hear from a robotic voice, goes, "Leave me alone," and make a difficulty 6 might defense for me, please.
Oh, I should have.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I would have put an effort on it, but I would have failed anyway. So.
Yeah, you would have failed anyway. So take 6 damage.
Down by 3, so 1 to 14.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And this is you're like somewhat like hugging it with with being pulled towards it by a harpoon, and this is just it. The hand that was holding the end of the harpoon lets go of it and like pushes down to the ground and throws you down to the ground. And it's
Okay.
your turn. You're now in immediate range.
I'm gonna pull out the shotgun.
Sure, and that was in your other hand to the harpoon. You're going to take another shot. The difficulty 6.
It's easy to hit in melee.
That is something that you could pick up from the context clues you've had so far, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still going to shoot the shotgun. Why not? And effort to roll, the effort to hit, of course. No effort to damage. It's that easy.
Yes. Yeah, so I think that you're so close that you managed to get around some of the pellets managed to get around the crackling energy field and thick armor and actually reach places that damage.
Some fleshy bits.
Yeah, you managed to do some damage to it. Which, let me check exactly how much, because I forget it's...
Your comment about Ziegler looking ridiculous, by the way, is correct. He's got a very big harpoon gun in one arm and a very big shotgun in the other arm. And is still very mobile, somehow.
Let me check. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know how much damage it's taken.
Cool. Is it going to punch me?
I think we are gonna, after a couple of rounds of combat, we're gonna cut back inside to the server room where you're getting a bunch of flashing warnings on the screen as it takes damage from the melee attack, and like internal warnings are going off, warning about like high pressure tolerances and calculating the best means of attack upon Ziegler.
Have you seen the communication about the oxycodone effort
Yes.
hormonal changes?
Yes, you get the unusual message, and you can see on the red and gold like terminal interface goes, "Ow! It hurt me! It hurt me!"
If we see the message with the list of hormones show up,
Yes.
I would like to convert one of my ebook cache to a medical textbook, and then I guess make an intelligence roll to see if I can recognize what that series of changes would do.
You certainly can. That would be, in this case, probably. It's just knowing what the hormones are isn't that difficult, I guess, with a medical textbook. So it's difficulty 3.
It's less what they are, but more the effect of those changes.
Yeah.
Cool. So difficulty 3 was that.
Yeah, with your textbook. Yeah.
Cool. I will drop 2 effort on this. Or I see you looking at my learning. Are you? would I be able?
I was just checking to see if I thought it would help you or not, and I don't think it does in this instance.
Cool.
Am I assessing the situation help him at all? Or the Cypher help him at all? Because it's like
Your
medical
Cypher,
text. No,
you're
my
gonna use
Cypher.
explosive
No,
poison.
No. In my special abilities, I have the Cypher.
Oh, decipher.
To be fair, I also have that skill.
Yeah, that's an action that you would take. I'm not sure you can use it to help.
Cool. I will roll as is, and
Yeah. Sure. Awesome. From your medical textbook, you can see that interpreting it in the way that you have out of character with if you suppressed serotonin, oxytocin, and argine vasopressin in a human nervous system, and enhanced epinephrine, which from your medical textbook you would also know is also adrenaline, yeah, and thyrotropin, you would get an increase in aggression.
Yeah.
And a lowered risk tolerance is the other effect that you would know to happen.
Cool. I guess
Sorry, a higher risk tolerance, not a lower risk tolerance. More likely to take risks.
more likely to take risks and just generally more aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll look around and go. Yeah, I guess like looks at like because for the people, for everyone else who doesn't know how about the character, being cyborg, these kind of books are basically built-in memories that just come to the fore. So suddenly, I guess the flash of there was a random memory of being a doctor in a past life or whatever, and sees this, realizes what it is, and turns to, I guess, one of the techs nearby and goes, should we be able to send a command that would undo these hormone changes? I believe the increased aggression that is what's causing your issue.
Great tech. Hi, Tilly. And then pushes her horn-rimmed glasses up her face and goes to you. I mean, we've been sending messages this whole time and it hasn't been responding. Taking a look at this, I don't think it would cause all of the changes that we've seen, but it'd certainly make it more pliable to aggressive action. She thinks and considers. I mean, you can try sending messages we have already.
I guess I turn back to brain to Cinch and go, do you think you're talking to it right now? Do you think you could undo the change? I guess I'm pointing at the message.
Well, if we can't undo it, can we just dump serotonin in, even if we can't completely undo it?
I mean, dump serotonin and melatonin and send it to sleep might be a good move.
Exactly.
Well, try undoing it first, and maybe it will be more reasonable to talk to. If that doesn't work, let's get. If that doesn't work, then let's knock it out.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do that. So is that another? Use the computer programming and roll?
As you're going to make this roll, you notice that the terminal, after it says "ouch, owie, hurt me," it says, "I have processed your request. I would be compliant."
Ooh.
And it's referencing your message asking about what if we can get you away from here.
Then he wants to leave. He wants to leave, guys. Can we take him? Can we take just the AI, the intelligence part, and leave the actual bot path possibility? Download his intelligence onto a digital interface tool.
I would like to download your brain onto a USB stick.
Yeah. Kai will look up at you and go, I would rather you didn't take our proprietary XR5 combat robot. It's ours.
Well, I mean, we could just leave it here shooting at you. And you get to keep the robot. I just want the brain. See, he wants to come.
You don't want our robot, you just want its programming interface. Do you see
Yes.
that is... I'm a... Oh, okay. That isn't going to work for us.
Okay, well, we'll just leave it here shooting at you. Is that going to work for you? I think my idea is better. Because look, he's sad. He wants to come with us. He wants to make...
If we
Don't you wanna
have
make
to,
friends?
we will sacrifice the lives of our security staff to recover the XR5, but we did not wish to. We'd like to get it intact if possible.
Well, it will be intact. You just have to dump another brain in it.
She kind of looks somewhat ashamed, if anything. Yeah, she doesn't say anything, but there's something there. Like you've clearly like there's a reaction. You're not sure exactly what it is, but yeah, when you suggest that you could just put another brain in it.
Oh. Can I use lies and trickery and talk to her and see if I can get more information out of that, seeing that reaction?
You definitely can. Give me a with lies and trickeries difficulty 3. Or I guess your other route would be assessing the situation, which would also be difficulty 3. You can do either or.
Okay. So it's difficulty 3. And then you can use intellect to reduce that.
Mhm.
Okay. We'll figure this out one day. It worked?
Success. So it was lies and trickery. So what's the successful tack that you've gone with here? What's
Lies
your
and
method?
trickery. Lies and trickery.
So what do you say to her? Is what I'm asking.
Oh, okay. I pick up on her discomfort, and I sort of just say, well, like the programming is clearly very, very, intelligent here, and it's not like we'd be using it anywhere else. You could always just reprogram all robots unless there's something else to it.
Yeah, she fusses. Look, her nails are suddenly very interesting. Looks at it and nibbles one of them. Well, we didn't exactly program the XR5. He admits in like one long breath.
Oh.
I am not entirely sure how it works. In fact, he looks very guilty.
Who did you get the programming from?
Oh no, don't worry. We are under contract here. Whatever you say stays.
Kind of leans in conspiratorially. He goes, "Don't tell the foreman I told you. We didn't make the XR5." I'm not exactly sure. I just know that it came from people within the Penumbra. Which is like saying it came from organized crime / the underworld / free agents / it could have come from many places.
We bought the robot cyborg death machine off the black market.
Yeah. It came from downtown New Jersey, is the equivalent.
So you can just take the brain.
Secret ingredient is crime.
We can just take the brain because it's not your property.
Well, it is our property now, but you're not taking it.
Hmm.
We're not paying you to take it.
No, you're paying us to get you a robot. That is 49% intact.
Looking back at the like list of parts, and some of them were biological. Would it be safe to assume that this is something that might have been stolen from, say, a certain organization within the Children of the Vein that sent this message that we've seen?
That could be a workable theory, yeah.
So these people then pissed off children.
Yeah, I think Bloodwind kind of like looks back at the message, looks at who sent it, and says, "Well, I think the original owners are slightly annoyed at you having it."
So why don't we take the brain, give you the robot, and everyone's happy?
What are Tink and Whittle? What are you up to?
I think we decided we were going to try and stop Ziegler from attacking the robot, right?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
So I think Tink's heading outside to get Ziegler.
I assume we're on some sort of communication network. Probably try and hail me on that.
I mean, Tink and Whittle are quite literally in a communications array that, if directed at you, could probably knock you over.
Yeah.
So they can definitely send you a message.
I figured that we can try that first. I figured that would not prove to be successful.
Yeah, you have an array that's capable of blasting an FTL message across like 15 hexes at max range, so that you can definitely communicate with Ziegler.
I don't know if we can get past all that copper.
True.
We can definitely communicate with him. I just don't think he will listen to us.
He's just running around a Faraday cage.
His armor vibrates like a tuning fork.
I'll start buzzing as I'm hitting it.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Turn you into a speaker.
If you can give me some sort of reasoning, I'm going to bring up the critical thinking.
Well, you can roll to see. Anyway, yeah. What? Yeah, I mean, you can up it out.
Whittle, should we communicate with him from here then? Or...
Yeah. So, Ziegler, if you could perhaps stop engaging in Mortal Kombat with the
Get
robot.
off the line, I'm busy fighting.
Well, we might be able to stop it without fighting it.
What do you mean?
We've found some stuff, and hopefully, if we do stuff with that, it will stop fighting. And then we get paid more.
But I want its jetpack.
Well, if you come back and ask very nicely, they might give it to you.
How much more money are you talking? I don't know how prolonged this thing is because I'm mid-combat. I don't know.
Well,
We'll assume this is happening while you're fighting, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I recall the bounty price, it's 2,000 more howl.
I think Ziegler just sort of grunts, and that's as far as he responds back to that. He's gone into a bit of a mental shutdown. It's too much to process.
That's hard.
I think over the communications network, you hear a metallic crunch as make a Might 6 defense roll for me, please.
Yep.
Whittle will turn to Tink and say, I don't think he's listening anymore.
I'm going to spend an effort.
Yeah, it's free for you. Right, take 6 damage.
Yep.
The other arm of the robot swings in, punches into a shoulder pauldron, which is actually 3 damage reduced by your armor. How healthy are you looking? Let's have a look. You're fine.
I'm not
You
doing
got-
that better.
Yeah, you're alright. You got loads left. Yeah, it's your turn.
I'm gonna have to ask you permission for a thing here.
Right.
So I don't actually want to attack it as such. I want to kind of grab around the back of it, and you said it's got some sort of jetpack on the back of it. I wanted to see if I could try and
Yep, it has jump jets.
what
The crowbar
built-in
it off.
jump jets. It's not like an additional thing that's attached to the back of the machine. It's like integral to the construction.
No, the robot isn't wearing a jetpack. It has jetpack capabilities. It's not like a robot that's got a commercial jetpack and put it on.
I don't know if there's like a module that had been clipped onto it or something. I don't know.
No, it's internal to its armor and structure.
IKEA the
Although
robot.
that's a very funny image, I do appreciate it.
He's wearing a backpack with just like a pair of rockets in it.
Yeah.
That's what I was imagining at first, to be honest.
No, I'm sorry for not
I
describing
thought it
it.
was like some ground robot that had like an additional module on the back of it that gave
No,
it
it's closer to like Iron Man feet and hand jets than anything else.
Right, okay.
It's just got two hoses that it aims at the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely got jets that are on its back carapace section, yeah. But
I'm still gonna. Right, can I go around the back and try and rip one of them off or something?
is this you're talking like cold shot jetpack?
Sorry?
So in D&D you can make a cold shot at like a specific limb or whatever. So you're like making a melee attack specifically targeting the jetpack.
I'm not sure. It's like Ziegler's trying to take it for himself, so he's like scrambling around it and trying to rip it off or something. So I suppose that would be classed as a melee attack against a particular. Yeah.
So it would be difficulty 5, but against a specific component, difficulty 6.
It might be easy just to shoot it with a shotgun.
That would also be difficulty 6, or just a generic melee attack would be difficulty 5.
I
Yes,
think we're gonna I'm just shooting it in effect, but I've gone around the back of it to try and check out if I can steal its jetpack capabilities, and I'm effectively lining a shotgun shell right down one of the vents or one of the jets.
Cool. Yeah, a difficulty 6 shotgun blast.
Ziegler's
But,
just going to end up with a rucksack that has one jet in it.
That's fail.
Yeah, so I think like that's what you intend to do, but you get crumped by its other fist and you turn around very confidently and shoot in entirely the wrong direction, mildly concussed.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah. You aim very confidently to what you are sure is the robot, and you fire and you notice that your vision is swimming and you see two robots. And you fired at the hallucinatory one.
I hit that.
Oh yeah, the one in your hallucination, you hit dead center. Yeah.
I would have been dead.
Make a make a difficulty 6 might defense roll for me, please. Yep. So take 6 damage.
Yeah.
I think at this point, having hit you with both of its fists, it steps forward and strikes you in the back with its knee.
I suppose I'm facing the wrong way at this point.
Yeah, it goes to knee you and knock you down.
Yep.
Oh, you're getting into dangerous territory there, Ziegler. But it's your turn.
I'm not going out like a coward. I'm going to start swinging. I'll swing my harpoon melee attack at it.
Yeah, difficulty 5.
I'm going to put an effort to hit. Oh.
Yeah, I think again you swing what you believe is the real one and realize you weren't seeing double, you were seeing triple. And
I like the idea that I've got the harpoon in my hand, like trying to use it as some sort of pseudo spear. So confident that it'll go through its carapace and just sort of bounces off. And
yeah, the harpoon is reloaded. Yeah,
absolutely terrified at the fact that it didn't go through.
Yeah, so you swing and you feel the knee in your back as you feel a crunch against your armor as you're knocked forward. Warning lights going off in your armor. as it mentions that one of your environment filters is filled up and it's moved to the secondary one, which you've still got like
How long
9
has
hours,
fight been
nine and
going
a
on
half
for?
hours. Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
there's a lot of inside stuff that's happened during this fight. This is quite a prolonged fight.
it's been what, like 15 turns, which is about 2 minutes that you've been fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, everything that happened inside was kind of simultaneous with you walking out there and
Yeah, I
standing
suppose. I was
yeah.
suiting up and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of inside, we move back inside to the server room, where you see Ziegler get punched by the robot's left hand, punched by the robot's right hand, and then kneed in the back. Is taking absolute pummeling.
Oh, at which point, I think Bloodwind's gonna like say to Cinch, like, maybe we should send it to sleep so that it doesn't kill Ziegler, and then we discuss which part of it we want to take with us when we leave.
I mean, fair. I guess. let's flood it. You said let's try flooding it.
Yeah.
I think as you look at the terminal, it's got 3 inputs, which is calculating its melee attacks against Ziegler. You see like various trigonometry and angles and calculations of optimal pressure for movement of limbs. And you see in its like intelligence center that the algorithm for like risk assessment has turned into that Ziegler is currently on the floor and it could probably run. Is one of the paths that it's considering.
Ooh.
So, do we both at the same time, or is that both of us seeing that? Is that Cinch seeing that?
Yeah, but both of you can
Okay.
work that out. Although I think you have to extol that knowing the medical information and reading the hormones. The thinking center is a mix again of biological nervous system, like base instincts, and then mechanical programming.
Okay, can we get it to run so it's out of that situation and then it's easier to calm down? Can we go to get it? Does that work?
It running away and then calming down would be great. I feel like unconscious is easier to deal with right now. I guess this is landing on the question of where does Bloodwind feel morally about against someone's will knocking them out via messing with their hormones.
I mean, like, part of me is worried that if we knock it out right there, Ziegler's just gonna try and kill it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
like, let's give it some distance between the very, very drained Ziegler and maybe make the running away look like a better idea, and then we can make it take a nap.
So yeah, I guess we mess with things so that it does the risk assessment of runaway's the best move.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes sense.
You have access to the terminal, so it's a difficulty 6.
Cool. I will. Are you making the roll?
I don't have anything that I could help that, because that's not true. Do you have anything that'll help that?
I think. Well, I would apply hacking. I've got a medical textbook which lets me know what to mess with in the biological side. I've got Sorry?
I've got hacking and hacking, computer programming.
Yeah.
I should probably make them. I've got computer programming, so robots just do what I tell them to do.
Yeah, you have that nice little ability.
So, like, All right. So just what do I do?
So I guess it's an intellect roll. It was difficulty 6, right? We're bringing it. So I'm helping you. Can I help? Can I provide 2 assets by helping?
Just one.
Okay, so I'll provide 1 asset by helping, which brings it down to a 5.
And I bring it down because of the computer programming one.
Something,
Is that
yep.
how that works?
Yeah, to a 4. And you can still apply, I think, another skill and another asset.
Okay. So, is one of my tools would like my own digital interface tool be an asset? Since I kind of
Two
designed.
assets and a skill, yeah.
Yeah.
So bring it down by 3.
Okay.
That's down to 3.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that.
And you can spend effort if you want to as well.
Really want the brain. I feel like I need more effort. Okay, do that. I'll do an effort. And no, fail. Damn it!
Oh.
No, rude. Okay.
I am going to offer you a GM intervention.
Oh.
Which is where you would gain 1 XP and give 1 XP to someone else. But the effect would be that it makes 2 attacks against Ziegler immediately.
Yep, I'll do that.
Okay.
Just
So
so there's no hard feelings, so give the other experience.
you gain 1 XP and you can give an XP to someone else.
I'll give it to Ziegler.
You have to take an XP and make 2 might defense rolls for me, please.
Oh my god.
56.
Difficulty 6, yep.
The background.
Oh, the captioner decided that was difficulty 6.
I mean,
Doing an effort.
Yes, take 6 damage.
Oh, goody.
Take another 6 damage. So as you plug into the console, hey, consider running away. It stomps on Ziegler twice with both feet. First 1 foot stomps on him, then the second foot stomps on him, and he stood on top of Ziegler directly. Sorry, it shouldn't be him. It is stood directly on top of Ziegler.
I think we go for knocking it out now.
Ziegler, how much might do you have left? Just out of interest.
2.
Oh. You started with 20.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Okay. Yeah, Tink and Whittle, what are you doing?
You're still on voice chat with Ziegler when this.
Yeah, you hear crunch, crunch, and then there's a brief pause, and you hear it steps on him.
You two are trying to convince me not to fight this. I'm on the verge of winning here.
Oh, perfect.
Well, I see that you're clearly on the verge of winning, but would you not rather face an opponent who is far more capable than this lousy opponent? Clearly, it's no match for you, and as a result, you should show mercy on the poor thing and let it go.
I suppose I do outmatch this thing to such a point where I should show it some modicum of mercy. But then again, mercy's weakness.
Truly,
I will offer you intervention.
Okay.
Which is this thing picks you up and runs.
Okay.
You would gain an XP and you could give an XP to someone else.
I'll take. Yeah. Let's go. That sounds great.
All right. Yeah. So on the communications, Tink and Whittle, you hear Ziegler slip into unconsciousness, And on the computer terminal, you see it identify Ziegler, pick up Ziegler, and run off, like pelting at full speed away from the facility.
I'm giving Whittle the XP, by the way.
There you go.
Well, that's not what I thought would happen.
Yeah, can I just consultation? The robot is running away with Ziegler.
Bloody matters, we noticed.
Think looks to Whittle and just goes, I'm not going out there. I'm not following.
Yeah. Actually, we can track where it's going.
Think that you can track where it's going, but the communication starts to get fuzzy.
Can we make a tact check to try and mess with its hormones to knock it out?
Yep, difficulty 6.
Okay, I guess I'll make it this time. Let's see what happens.
Can I help him?
You certainly can.
Cool. So that brings it down to a 5. I will apply hacking to bring it down to a 4. I'm not touching it, so that doesn't apply. I'm not trying to get information, so that doesn't apply. Nope. So I'm at 4. Wrist comp as an asset. That's 2 assets in a skill. That brings it down to a 3. Then we'll apply 2 effort.
Minor effect. What would you like your minor effects to be? Like, how is this more successful than just the baseline?
It lands on Ziegler, killing him.
That's the successful effect.
I think the minor effect that is better is that as a result of the kind of hormone changes that I'm forcing, its hormone balance will return to normal afterwards, so that it can hopefully be more normally reasoned with when it wakes up.
So the result of this roll, as we see on the terminal, is I am leaving. I am taking the Black Warrior with me. I am going. Please leave me alone. No, wait. What is this? I am getting so sleepy. I cannot. And then communications cut off as it falls to the ice outside, cradling Ziegler underneath it like a newborn babe. I think Foreman Harris bursts into the room. What's going on?
Your robot.
Taking a nap.
It's unconscious.
Yes.
Bravo team, Delta team, we're going. Get up, tool up, tool up, tool up. And he unslings his giant machine gun from his back, and teams of paired security guards you see behind him, clumping down the corridor towards the docking area.
He's such an asshole.
Yeah. We're out of the immediate danger, so everyone is free form. Feel free to do as you wish. We're not
Am I
in combat
conscious at
anymore.
this point, or am I still unconscious until you
You
decide
are-
I'm not?
You are unconscious. Yeah.
So I'm
You
just
are
at the whim of-
unconscious until you are recovered by another PC.
Okay.
Well, I guess we
If they decide to. I mean, they may not. Who knows?
I really want to go check out the robot. Maybe on the way, because the robot's just cradling, and then we'll give Ziegler a poke and see if he's okay.
He looks too cute in this pose. We can't.
I'm gonna take out my this computer thing and take a photo. I'm doing it.
Also, when we get round to merch for the show, clearly there needs to be a scaled plush of Sir Ziegler. In the field.
Scale.
Ziegler is currently facing the Worf effect, where he gets beaten by this robot to show us how tough the robot is.
I'm just gonna like throw my camera to just be like, "Hey, Sam, knock that selfie."
Take a picture of him covered in position, and then edit it into the wanted poster for Ziegler.
If anyone who is wanting to can hop onto a speeder along with the recovery teams and head out to the robot.
Oh, and I need to borrow somebody's who had the extra suit.
Yeah, I mean, I have one if you wanted.
So Cinch is who heads out with the security team to go recover Ziegler and the robot.
Yep.
Does anyone else go?
I mean, like, I've known Ziegler for a while, so I probably should. Rock up. Like,
Probably.
like
I think Tink is downloading the footage of Ziegler's fight.
Tink, can you make a difficulty 4 intellectual for me, please?
Oh god.
Whilst Tink is doing that, Whittle will help to distract Sabina by using Enthrall on him.
Yep, you certainly can do that.
We just start talking about all of the data we were going through, like all the interesting stuff, and like, oh, did you know there's a sale on that? Blah 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 blah.
I know this is our character, but
I have 2 intellect left.
Whittle's enthrall ability is genuinely my favourite thing in this game.
Very good.
Just conceptually.
walks up to someone and starts talking, and they freeze.
So, you identify within like the secured communications because you've been looking at it for a while. You notice 2 files, and on an out of character level, you know that either of these will produce a cipher. One of them is marked financial transactions month of, and it's like 3 months ago till current time, and the other one is marked XR5. What would be the word? XR5 nervous system.
The financial transactions one.
Cool. So anyone on the team who wishes to can add a cipher. Its name is Financial Acumen. Level is 1d6. And the effect is gain an asset on any task involving negotiating transactions or trade, even if it would take you over the usual cap.
Nice.
Yep, so by examining the financial information of this by a twist of fate, by looking at the systems of Arclight, you'll gain the ability to be slightly better at negotiating a financial transaction at some point.
How
Really?
does...
Are we strictly talking like money has to exchange hands or like, value?
It's specifically for either a financial transaction or a trade, not like a diplomatic negotiation. It's for the exchange of goods.
Okay.
What was it called again? Financial acumen.
Financial acumen, yeah.
How does it work when you are full on ciphers?
You can either replace one or not accept it.
But if you've got a limit of 2, because my character does.
Yeah.
I will replace.
Yeah, I'm not accepting it because I like the 2 I've got currently.
Okay.
Is it an thing or?
Is it a what?
On use? Does it have like a like my other one is for 1d6 turns.
Oh
Right?
yeah, this is a level 1d6 cipher, although in this case it's irrelevant because the level doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What's the
It's on-
description again?
I will post it into Roll20, so you're not
Okay.
all.
Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, I'm happy turning this one down, particularly because I can't wait for the next mission I go on to require that exact kind of negotiation, and we not have that. So.
I'm really excited about the idea of secretly using it.
And we will never know what the other cipher that you could have found in the system was. Smile.
Good one.
But it's alright, because it's one that I can reuse in a different place and claim that it was always there. It's your choice which village to go to. They're the same village, but you can go to either one.
The classic.
Yeah. So as you're messing about in this system, and Whittle is chatting up the tech who invites Whittle to dinner. Yeah, Bloodwind and Cinch, you make your way out on the speeder. You're tooled up in like a military speeder along with Foreman Harris and 5 security agents. You head out to the robot, and as you get to it, they're able to assess that the robot has taken roughly maybe 20% damage to its armor and systems. And,
Only 20%.
yeah, roughly, yeah.
Hey, we did good against a 9-foot robot.
Yeah, say if this robot was to have a health of around 20, it would have perhaps 16 remaining. Just, throwing out random values. Yeah, they start to, they hit the mechanical off switch, so that it, and, get their hands on it, disable its systems. They unload the ammunition feeds from the weapons and start making the robot safe for recovery. You're able to get to Ziegler, who, because this is cinematic,
Nice.
is blinking awake as you approach.
Well, see,
Right. And just pat him on the head. Good job, buddy.
I can't believe you guys just shut it off before I had the chance to beat it in battle with martial combat.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
Can't believe you guys left me to fight this thing all by myself. I had this.
oh, obviously.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You had it. You had it. We were just waiting for that crit hit.
That's per usual.
Technically, we can say that you had some time to make your recovery rolls, but there's 10 minutes left in the session, so
I
it's...
doubt I'm going to get in another fist fight. I'm sure it's fine.
Well, I mean, with Ziegler's anything possible, but...
Ziegler stands up and immediately punches the foreman.
Wouldn't be surprising. So they said they wanted at least 60%, didn't they, or something?
No,
To be
50,
faster.
50.
50. So can I go up to the recovery team? So what percent of this system is jetpack?
They look at you... They look at you like it's like...
I mean, I'm bleeding from everywhere on my face, and I'm just like swaying, like I'm half.
Yeah.
I'm like half conscious at this point.
So I think the response you get is, "Hang on a second, don't I know you?"
Me? What do you mean you know me?
You took my plasma cannon.
No, that wasn't me.
I walk up behind him and like, do you think if he owned a plasma cannon, he wouldn't be carrying it around permanently?
Can I use this as a distraction to try and download the brain?
Download the brain?
I want the AI. I want the AI.
I'm not sure that's a thing that's possible.
I want to hack the planet.
Yeah, I'm not sure that downloading this thing's AI is feasible with the equipment that you have.
Okay.
Put it into Ziegler's body. Oh no!
And then make it a janitor.
Oh, it would be full circle. Wouldn't it?
Oh,
Yeah. I think at this point we swap to like the end of episode montage as the robot is hoisted up on cranes, recovered back to the Arclight facility. You all say your nods and goodbyes. Sabina gives Whittle his number, and you all make your way back to the tourist ship, and you make your way through the portal back to TTGI station, and as you translate and reappear back in center system, you ding with a message from Wolf saying Arclight reports mission complete, well done, and you get the grand prize of 8,000 hell.
so divide by 5. Some.
Oh no, 5,000. Was it? Sorry.
8,000 total.
Oh,
1,000
I'm idiot.
each.
Yeah, 'cause it was like 5,000 for like full recovery and 3,000 for fix.
What's the specific report you make as regards the fault to the handler and to the Penumbra as a whole? What do you tell them happened to XR5?
External interference from. I guess we name the company because it's on the email. They can just check it themselves.
But you have the broadcast array. Not have the specific source, but yeah.
We know vaguely the direction it came from, kind of thing.
Yeah, and the information you have is enough to satisfy identifying the probable fault. So you're gonna have that money.
These people sent this message. It made the robot do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sent from Helio. You know the one.
Heliocytus.
That's the one.
Is it valuable to anybody that we know that they bought this robot on the black market? And can I exploit that?
You certainly can, but that will be a session for another time. We will see the consequences of your session in the future, I am sure. So as we get everyone arriving back on the station, when you arrive back from a mission, where does everybody go?
So I like the concept for me at least. Ziegler on the way back is whinging to Biscuity Crumbles about the fact that his team let him down again. He wasn't allowed to take the jetpack off the robot. It's a disaster, and it's not fair.
Best day of his life.
I think at some point during the journey, like Ron's gonna look at during this litany of complaints. Ron's gonna look at Ziegler and go, you can just buy a jetpack, and then I don't know what company would sell one, but I'll name the company and just bring it up on my wrist computer and point it out. You just buy one.
I think it's because it's you. I think specifically the one that comes up is colored bright red, green, and yellow, and in primary colors. And the jetpack looks like a cartoon jetpack, and it's branded with mineral.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I make a very, very secretive and secure communication conversation, and if anyone were to actually see it, there would be a good deal of eye rolls coming from me while I was making this communication.
Cool.
Well, Whittle has a throuple to get a drink with.
Oof.
Yeah, back on station, you're gonna go meet with Elijah.
Wait,
and
no, that
Sarah.
would be a quadruple then.
You're meeting a throuple, yes. You're meeting a part of a throuple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll invite Sabina.
Okay.
Oh. You should invite your friend from the mining company.
Yeah, but that's what I did on my last downtime.
Cool, so you get this montage. Tink, where does Tink go when you arrive back on the station?
I think Tink just go straight to the casinos. They're like, I made some money today. Time to make some more. And that definitely doesn't lead to them having to do another mission in the very short future.
Well,
I really like the concept. There's an exit shot with Biscuity Crumbles with a jetpack in hand. Ziegler is bracing.
which brand of jetpack does Mr. Crumble play?
The after credit scene is my job. That would be a good one, but not the one this time. Keep that in mind. And yeah, the credits start to roll. We see Game Master. We see all the names of the characters. We see Foreman Harris, played by Harrison Ford. Scroll down the list of credits, and the after scene that we get is we see initially the shot is completely dark, and then we see the light of a computer screen reflected on an older woman's face, and we hear the sound of typing. And as the camera zooms in, she looks up at the camera with bright red eyes, and then we cut. There's a dramatic done as she looks straight at the camera, and then we cut to black. Yeah, thank you for playing, everybody.
Thank you for running.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was fun.